in Early Heads. Welcome in Early Heads.
Sweat, man. Yeah, I'm spraying everywhere. All these snakes around me, I don't even need to aim it, yeah. That boy think he tough, okay, let's run one for real then. R.I.P. Akira, I'ma treat these boys like Krillin. Powered up like mitochondria to get specific. 4+4 to track and lead these rappers wash just like some dishes. Hey, V5, 4 fun, stepping on it whole life, make them start a GoFund. Hey, what's up with your glazing ass? Smile in my face, but turn around and get to hating ass. What? Oh, I'm open to confessions. Father, please forgive them for these sins, they don't know better. Taught you dummies a lesson. Now people's getting turned in like the end of the semester. You made your bed, now laying it, ho. You in your place, not staying at home. Just give me the green, I'm waiting to go. I'm in a whole different mode, now my APH2O AC stay crank, I'm way too cold. Who want this North Pole? Ayy, they don't wanna hear this chink talk, tell them womp womp, cause I'm still high. Send me the location there, when I come around I hear pins drop. Soy losers in the comment section, I couldn't tell you what it is, dog. Maybe they just want a kiss from me, cause I'm too pretty and they chick nah. Ayy, okay, let's take it from the tippy top. I just got my get back, you a pro getting caught. Yeah, not a fan of violating my bros, but if you play both sides too often, then I'm bound to hate with my bro. This that action that you wanted, huh? I'm still just having some fun. They gave me the ball, I ran with it, I pass it back till I'm done. This that gives sight to the blind flow, know you want more. Better put that rosary on display, you don't wanna get haunted by ghosts. Get back, this precipitation, it can never make me sweat, man. Yeah, I'm spraying everywhere. All these snakes around me, I don't even need to aim it, yeah. That boy think he tough, okay, let's run one for real then. R.I.P. Akira, I'ma treat these boys like Krillin. Powered up like mitochondria to get specific. 4+4 to track and lead these rappers wash just like some dishes. Hey, V5, 4 fun, stepping on it whole life, make them start a GoFund. Hey, what's up with your glazing ass? Smile in my face, but turn around and get to hating ass. What? Oh, I'm open to confessions. Father, please forgive them for these sins, they don't know better. Taught you dummies a lesson. Now people's getting turned in like the end of the semester. Zagora, stojim na Dinari, kraj mene krkani, se sami Ivani, pršut na stolu je, gemiš tam silazi, od litre vina mi, skačemo polivati, nakon par bokala podižemo atmosferu, skidam se do pasa, pivamo gangu i reru, materi sam reka da razvaliti se neću, al u meni je Zagora, ne živim ja u Beču, mi smo momci najjači u selu, to se znade, glave su na veće nego planinske gromade.
welcome in chat. Welcome in chat. Welcome in chat. How are we doing this fine morning, evening / afternoon? It is Tuesday, the 9th of December at exactly 6:14. It is very nice to see you all in this very beautiful house of ours. I hope you're all doing well. As we like to say here in chat, if somebody died, please tell us, because 100%, okay, 100% there is Twitch chat both in heaven and in hell. And we have our first purchase of merch already by a subscriber that bought Get In Kid. Okay, absolutely phenomenal. Thank you very much. The reason I will not have notifications on the screen for all the subscribers, they get to use their very, very, very special discount only during this stream. Unless we do really well, then we might continue it for another, but it's probably going to be only this stream. Any subscriber that goes to the Deprogram shop or writes ! merch, goes there, will have a special 10% discount if you are a subscriber on the app. I wanted to have alerts popping up, but you know what's fucked up? When it gives the alert, it gives full first name and last name type shit, because it, like, for some reason takes it out of the delivery or some stupid stuff. So I won't have it, but on my phone it will pop up. So we already got the first person that bought beautiful merch. Thank you very much. Anyways, welcome in. Today will be a regular episode with a regular stream with additional incredibly based shit. What is that incredibly based shit? Well, if you're like Emo Snail, who's been subscribed for 7 months, you... Oh my God, but it's given the fucking alert.
Happy holidays. May your steak be juicy and your lobster buttery. This is a small token of my appreciation you guys do.
Okay, thank you very much. But this is... Wait, let me check. I don't know if it's... Thank you very much for that second person, but let me turn off those particular notifications, because we're going to end up doxing somebody, and that is something that I genuinely do not want to do. Okay, merch turned off. Okay, anyways, welcome in chat. As some of you may have learned, we have dropped crazy amounts of incredibly based merch on deprogramshop.com. That is, again, deprogramshop.com. I am still not wearing it on my beautiful sexy body, okay? It is yet not on my beautiful sexy body. It will be in like 2-3 weeks, because the delivery times are absurd. It is already on JT's beautiful sexy body, but my beautiful sexy body living in Pichka Materina has to wait a little bit longer for it to be delivered from the United States. Now, these designs are, with all due respect, absolutely insane. And the offer I am giving you today on this stream is even more insane. How much does a subscription cost? It costs $6. Top $6. I will be repeating this pitch throughout the stream. I will not be pitching subscription just for subscription. I will be pitching for you guys to finally get your money's worth for the subscription, okay? Subscription is $6. So even if you're not subscribed, subscribing right now for $6 and just buying one of these shirts, wait, let me put it in US dollars, okay? And immediately buying a shirt will already equalize how much you paid for the sub. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you buy 2 shirts, there will be a $10 discount, which will literally, like, I am breaking my own bank. You pay $6 for a sub, supporting the show or whatever, but then you get $10 off. What the fuck? Make it make sense. It doesn't make sense, because we're socialists and we don't believe in the economy. It is a fake thing. It is a literal fake thing. So deprogramshop.com, only today during the stream will you be able to do the 10%. And even if you are not subscribed, listen to me. Even if you're not subscribed, subscribing for $6, or if you're from a developing country, a lot of the subscriptions are $2, $3. Subscribing just to get the discount makes valid economic sense. If you hate me, but you want to get the deprogram shit on fleek, okay? How specifically does it work, though? When you go to the payout page, you will see this, okay? You will see connect to Twitch. You connect it to Twitch, and it will immediately notice if you are what? If you are a subscriber. And if you're a subscriber, you will get the 10% discount attached to the merch that you will potentially be buying. So if there's ever a moment to buy this incredible shit, okay? With all due respect, I pushed like a motherfucker for this shit to fucking drop. We have a new purchase. The phone went off. Okay, everything has 3 versions. Okay, you have hoodie, t-shirt, and a hat. You have hoodie, t-shirt, and sweatshirt. All of it has all those versions. Look at this. Is insane. This is insane. Venceremos, you know what it means. If you're commies, you know what it means. This is like, I'm sorry. Look at the Volvo. Look at the background, the American dream, okay? This shit is crazy. 100% organic cotton, motherfucker. And like oversized, like very cool. What the fuck? I don't want...
Thanks, boys. Red heart emoji.
I turned it off. Streamlabs, why are you so stupido? Streamlabs, why el stupido mucho? Off. I literally clicked off. It's supposed to be off. Wait, I know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to disconnect it from fourth wall itself. Stupid AS motherfuckers. Wait, apps. Apps. Where is apps? Okay, Streamlab alerts. And then disconnect. Okay, I disconnected it like this. Very good. Because I don't wanna show somebody's fooling last name. Okay, we got JT's fucking Volvo in here. Okay, we got. Look at this. This one's my fucking favorite. There was like bullets flying out of here, but we decided against it because it's gonna get us banned everywhere. Because it low-key looks like we're calling upon violence. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. You got a little Makarov in the front for all the Stalker fans, for all the Soviet weaponry fans. Okay, these are the 2 most used Soviet firearms combined on this. Like, everything is so good. Theory without practice is empty. Practice without theory is blind. Like, it's so, like, I'm sorry, but there's no fucking commie merch like this anywhere. With all due respect, without you looking silly as fuck. The only one where we went very overboard, is this one. This one is just like you're wearing it, you're an insane communist. It looks fucking insane. Absolutely fucking insane. Same price as an AAA game? Yes, but you will wear this your whole life and you play an AAA game for 6 fucking hours. Also, why am I excusing it away? I don't give a shit. If it was me, these would be $100, but whatever. We barely make anything on most of these. So with the 10% discount, it's even less. I'm not going to apologize for them being $50. I would make them $60, $70. This one is ridiculous. This one is absurd. This one will get you shot in the United States of America. It will literally make you commit to die. Immediate commit die, but I find it to be really funny. This one is just for the podcast listeners. As you can see, we depicted Hakeem in a very, very particular manner here on the side. And the 2 of us are just snippets from the most typical deprogram episodes. This one is our classic series of dead reactionaries that we hope remain dead, right? And so on and so on and so on. Union made. It's got all the certificates. It's not American union made. We don't want to just buy from Americans because I'm not a fucking American. Neither is Hakeem. But it's got all the fucking certificates about ethical sourcing and ethical sourcing of materials and so on. We made sure through fourth wall that the specific shirts that we use are that particular, like approved by the EU and all that shit about that stuff. I don't want to buy American-made products. To me, it's supporting the Imperial Core, and I refuse that, even though I still use a lot of Imperial Core labor, mostly for shipping and even for printing. Most of this shit also gets, I think, printed in the U.S. proper. So, yeah. You get a discount. You know what it works. I think I explained the basic concept. The designs are sick as fuck. You get 10% if you subscribe. Where I sub. You sub here. Thank you very much. And then you go on the page and you use that subscription. Okay? If you're subscribed on Twitch, you get to use 10% discount over on the page. You accept Instagram links? Of course I accept Instagram links. Now, with that part out of the way, let's get right into the news. We got a bunch to cover. apparently the economy's never been doing better. Okay. Can we get it in other countries? I'm not from the States, man. You can get it in every country on planet Earth. That's why you use this particular software. Every single country. And I think they send out from multiple locations based on where you are ordering from, which should allow for cheaper transportation and delivery services. Okay? I'm going to buy the Lenin one for sure. I really suggest doing it now because during this stream, you will have the 10%. The second the stream ends, those 10% will disappear. If you consider making balaclava merch, they do not have an option on the site. We try to reach out for like the people that do Hassan's merch, but they were just really slow with replying, and then they were like, we're too busy during the holiday season. So I was like, okay, I don't give a flying fuck. We got Fourth Wall. Fourth Wall does everything for us. If the Yanks don't want our money, I will gladly not give them any of our money under some sort of fake marketing pivot that it's quote unquote ethical. Ooh, me sending money to America from the developing world is hella fucking ethical. Nah, I'm good, bro. Anyways, let's start out with CNN.
You said you have no problem with releasing the full video of that.
Oh, Jesus. Why is it? Oh, you see how I listen to shit? Fucking 2.5. Wait. 0, normal. Very good. Okay. You guys understood how the discount works? Okay, absolutely fantastic. Let's start out with the news. Apparently, they're banning social media in the fake country of Australia. Let's start from there.
With releasing the full video of that strike on September 2nd off the coast of Venezuela, Secretary Hegseth now says...
You said that. I didn't say that. This is ABC fake news.
You said that you would have no problem releasing the full bit. Okay, well, Secretary Hegseth...
Whatever Hegseth wants to do is okay with me.
He now says it's under review. Are you ordering the Secretary to release that full video?
Whatever he decides is okay with me.
So the president, just moments ago at the White House, says, quote, I never said that. He was denying his past support for releasing the video that shows that now infamous double tap strike
Yes, the 10% is only for today.
on an alleged drug boat in the Caribbean. So what did the president actually say last Wednesday in the Oval Office?
That the president, us Americans love contributing to mass murder of foreigners, but we don't want to do it in a way that is quote unquote perceived as an unethical killing for us. You are all animals, but we are still going to kill you ethically. The only time we discuss imperial murder in the United States is when it's done extra brutally. That way we move the goalpost of what international murder and imperialism in our head so that we can accept quote unquote lesser and better forms of mass murder. That is the only way you're supposed to analyze the entirety of the situation, like of this particular quote unquote scandal. Every push towards the fact that they that, you know, the entirety of the focus is not supposed to be on the hitting of the ship, but the way the ship is hit is unironic consent manufacturing for the idea that just hitting the ships can be done in an ethical manner. That is literally it. We have our third buyer. Thank you very much, King. I don't think I am, what's the word? I don't think I'm, what's the word? I don't think I'm showing who you are and where you live because of the purchase. There you go. King got a discount, basically the size of, basically for the same price as the subscription, and got the Get In Kid. The Lenin and Mao cigarette thing. A lot of stupid fucking nerds like wrote some comments about how Lenin didn't smoke. Why is he giving a cigarette? Maybe it's an allegory, you daft fucking lobotomized pig. Jesus. God fucking damn it. I swear. Ooh. Maybe there's a whole text underneath explaining the fucking allegory. But Lenin did not smoke a cigarette. Just shut the fuck up, nerd. Put the fries in the bag. Got the Lenin one. The 10% discount basically gave me a free shipping to Poland. There you go. Fantastic. Thank you, Cynical. Thank you. I'm going to get notifications on here. Again, I would love to flex on all the badass chatters on the screen that actually end up buying the merch, but I'll do it through here. And instead of the daily Western tax count, we will do something else. We will do Don't say what the fuck. And I can specifically see if it's a Twitch subscriber that bought it or not. Daily Western tax count. Instead, we're going to be like Twitch subs. Wait. Discounted merch bought. And now let's see the new person. Is he or she or they from Twitch? And wait, back. This is very slow. Set back. We got a based person again for 10%, also from Twitch. Oh my God, you guys are getting spiced up. We got another based person from Twitch, and we are officially at 5. Okay, this person got Ding Dong, the witch is dead. Lovely. Okay, so I'm gonna count them right here, so I don't bother you guys that are here for the news and so on. With discounted merch bought. Twitch sub merch bought 5. There we go. I'll just add there. I'll be spending money. Hey, that's the point, baby. Dude, I'm giving you a discount for no reason. I barely convinced JT and Hakeem to do it like this. Much on the way, Lennon shirt in Schmedium to flex on these people. Maybe Lennon smoking just looks cool. Yeah, maybe, right? Right? But no, we have to complain about everything.
Office.
Okay? We gotta virtue signal so hard there's nothing else left in our soul.
You released video of that first boat strike on September 2nd, but not the second video. Will you release video of that strike so that the American people can see for themselves what happened?
I don't know what they have, but whatever they have, we'd certainly release. No problem.
Last Wednesday, it was no problem. Now, apparently, there is a problem. The president's comments stand in stark contrast to the now growing bipartisan support for releasing the video of that second.
This is the reason I'm covering this particular news as international Marxist is that it's insane to me. Because of the way that it's phrased. It is absolutely fucking insane to me. Thank you very much for the next merch buyer. Absolutely insane to me.
Strike from September 2nd.
The way the whole situation is phrased is bananas. Is absolute bananas.
And today, tucked away in a must-pass defense bill, CNN found a provision that would limit Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's travel budget.
We got another get-in kid. M-size. Oh, we got a skinny motherfucker in here, eh?
Until he gives the Armed Services Committees in the House and the Senate the unedited video of the strikes.
Do you think that the video should be...
Will you do things proper, sir? Sir, will you lift your elbows off the table as you munch on that baby, sir? That is what this looks like from the side. That is exactly what this looks like.
To the American public, as President Trump has said he would support.
So I personally don't have any problem with it.
I think it's really important that this video be made public. The American public needs to judge for itself.
All right, let's get off the sidelines and head into the arena. My panel is here. We're also joined by CNN senior White House correspondent Kristen Holmes. So, Kristen, how is the White House explaining what is very clearly a total about-face?
Well, we've reached out, of course, about these remarks that just happened moments ago. We have not heard back on their interpretation.
Chat, you will be on a boat minding your fucking business. You'll be blown the fuck out, okay? Your entrails all over, your legs flying through the sky, okay? You can see your penis like 10 meters in front of you floating as another Predator missile blows you the fuck out. And that's not the worst thing that's going to happen to you. You got like hell or heaven or lack of existence or reincarnation. None of that is going to be as bad as the fact that Americans will use you as just a talking point for 10 days before they forget about you on the topic of what is ethical versus unethical murder of foreign dogs. Okay? There doesn't have to be a hell. Your death itself is such a joke because they will dehumanize you to such an extent that you will only and exclusively be a bipartisan chess piece to use against their perceived political enemies, even though if they were in power, they would have done the same thing and say that it's normal. What's up, hot sauce? Hot sauce.
Of this complete about face, as you noted. But a couple of things have changed since he first made those comments. One, we know that a bipartisan group of lawmakers has now seen that second video that wasn't released, and many of them condemned the video. Most of them Democrats, but there still was a lot of questions about the legal authority that was given to make those strikes. Now, the other part of this that is so fascinating.
And it's also just pure aesthetics. It's about either condemning it or not condemning it. There is no legal pathway in this country or arguably any other country towards doing something about this kind of foreign military intervention. If you kill an American in America, probably like there's going to be some sort of police chase involved. Unless you're very wealthy, then there's going to be no police chase involved, even if you SA children for like 10 years, Epstein, 20 plus years, but don't even get me started. But at least there's going to be some sort of reaction because you are doing it to actual humans. This is the American perspective, actual fellow Americans. But if it's some random fisherman from goddamn Venezuela, then the only discussion is whether it was killed ethically or not. Okay, what else do we discuss in such a manner? Can you kill it ethically or can you kill it unethically? You know what? Animals. That's how they see the rest of us. And this is not intentional or unintentional. We just are. We're a bunch of fucking piggies for them to butcher at the altar of preserving empire. And empire has always done this. This is not necessarily an American thing. This is an imperial thing. You cannot step on the neck of someone you consider your equal. Okay? We just had an epic, insane chatter spend a crazy amount of money, thank you very much, making basically their subscription here free because they got double that money in discounts. Thank you very much. And we got another beautiful chatter that leads us to 9 chatters that have already utilized their subscription in order to get discounts. Where else do you get this? Where else do you get motherfucking discounts for merch for subscribe? Instead of a person whose family, friends, and their lives were ruined and destroyed with no legal repercussions, they're simply talking points used to move pieces on the chessboard. Exactly, my beautiful friend. Pieces on the chessboard lubed up by our animal subhuman blood.
To hear is President Trump, a president who, by all accounts, really tries to command his authority over every aspect of his administration, over every agency. In this moment, even though he has the full power as commander-in-chief to order that video to be released, is now saying that it's up to the Secretary of Defense. So you're seeing him put squarely on Pete Hegseth this decision to either release this video or not release this video. And that is something that should be noted. President Trump privately has said that he likely wouldn't have done the second strike. We know that he has said multiple times that Pete denied that he knew about these people being injured. So there are still a lot of questions here. And it is incredibly notable that President Trump is essentially passing the buck to Secretary Hegseth, who I will note just arrived at the White House about 5 minutes ago when it comes to this video.
Oh, that was
right. Monitoring that. Kristen Holmes, thank you very much for that reporting. All right, joining us now in the arena to discuss Democratic Congressman from Colorado, Jason Crow. He's a former Army Ranger, and he now sits on the House Armed Services and Intelligence Committees. Congressman, how do you explain the president's about face on whether the video of this second strike should be released?
Well, there's nothing to explain, Casey. I mean, the only thing this administration appears to be good at is a cover-up. We don't have to have a debate about the video and what it shows and doesn't show. They can just release the video. And we happen to know that this Defense Department, the Pete Hegseth, is actually very good at quickly releasing videos when he wants us to see what's in it, which is very telling, frankly, about why this one hasn't been released.
How do you explain the difference between what Jim Himes, the number 2 on the House Intelligence Committee says about what's in the video versus Tom Cotton. They have totally different things to say about it. Cotton saying that it is entirely lawful what he saw. Is he telling the truth?
Yeah, here's how you explain the difference. You have Jim Himes, who's interested in the truth, in the law, in conducting congressional oversight, and you have Senator Cotton, who's interested in just appeasing Donald Trump. That's the difference.
They kill random dudes in a boat. End of story. Exactly. Someone put your fire when ready sweatshirt. Ah, there we go. Okay, very good. Now it works. Now it works. So, but someone. Why does it say someone? I said a subscriber just bought. Oh, I hate Streamlabs. But yeah, C-SPAR. This is how they move the intentionally or unintentionally. This is how they move the conversation away from murder towards how is it ethical to murder, which then implies that there is such a thing as ethical imperial murder.
Right?
You know, we got to do this in a civil manner. We must not burn their villages like savages with torches. We must use, flamethrowers, okay?
So, but again,
ethically purchased flamethrowers from your local mom and pop shop in Wisconsin.
Again, we don't have to debate this. We don't have to have a back and forth. They can just release the video, much like I've been calling for them to release the Epstein files. People can see for themselves. You know, if this video is anywhere near what has been described to me, which is you have two unarmed, combat ineffective, stranded individuals who are holding on to a burning, sinking wreckage, who have been taken off the battlefield, and then a long time after the initial strike, another one is taken to kill them. There is no justification for that. You know, I'm a combat veteran. I've been in these situations before, and we learn from the very first days of our training that if someone's injured, if they are trying to surrender, if they are retreating, if they have been rendered combat ineffective, you would not only have a moral obligation, but a legal obligation to refrain from striking them.
The administration's defenders have essentially tried to argue that there's something on the video that shows that these survivors were trying to stay in the fight.
What fight? Blood! For those of you who unfortunately saw the actual explosion, they were about to splash the Predator missile with some water.
That look like, and is your understanding of the video that it shows anything like that?
No, my understanding is there's nothing remotely like that. In fact, some of the folks who have briefed Congress have refuted that account already. Again, what has been described to me, and I have no reason to...
No, I haven't watched it. Tell me about it, PM Triox. Drone warfare has changed everything. America is in for a nasty surprise if it invades Venezuela. The days of rolling over weaker nations are over. I mean, I hope, but there's slight hope there. But can you ask something? No. No. This is on Twitch. Usually the streamer does not interact with the chat. So if there are 3 steps toward this, feels like step 2. This is step 3. This is step 3. But let's just hope that it's all political theater and that he will back off. But that will not happen. I already see some liberals and self-defined leftists starting to create consent for the invasion of Venezuela. I've seen some videos that are absolutely, it's insane that you would post sometimes very legitimate criticism both of Maduro and the previous government and just the not, the way that Venezuela has been governed to an extent. You know, there's a comradely way to criticize, but to post something like that right now before a potential invasion of Venezuela makes you absolutely fucking insane. Makes you 100% insane. This is like right before the invasion of Iraq. That's when you decide to make like hit pieces on Saddam Hussein. And I know Saddam Hussein is very, very different to Maduro, but you get my point. Like, why are you literally creating consent for this war right now? You fucking idiot. You fucking absolute animal. Basically, the president goes on a rant that Romans could walk freely without fear because Rome would crucify and raise cities over it. and that should be how America works. The only pushback is it is not proper. Of course it is. That's really good, PM. Of course, yeah. No, you got, dude. Listen. Republicans use Agent Orange. Democrats just bomb. What's the difference? I guess 3 seconds of suffocation, or 100 years worth of physical deformities versus just being physically deformed with your leg being blown off your body. So it's basically the same.
I believe that this is different. Two individuals holding on to a burning, sinking wreckage over a long period of time. And I, again, see no justification for why you would kill those individuals. And here's why these rules matter. Because
look how, like, this is so cold-blooded.
Everyone's like, well, these are drug runners and these are combatants. Here's why it matters. The world came together and said there has to be some rule to govern POWs, prisoners, wounded people on the battlefield, because America also benefits from that. In every recent conflict we've had, Iraq, Afghanistan, the first Gulf War, Vietnam, American service members have been taken hostage, have needed aid on the battlefield, and we have benefited from those very same rules. Our men and women that can benefit from them. So we break those rules, and we are putting our own service members at risk in the future.
There you go. We must create an argument of how this is bad for American imperialist soldiers in the future. I can't. They're saying it. Thank you for the purchaser of the CEO of Antifa. Let me see if it's a Twitch chatter. Is it a Twitch chaturino? Is it a Twitch chatter? Should I count it? Person whose name begins with S and ends with G is not. It was somebody who bought it without the discount. But then we had a person whose name starts with N and O, thank you very kindly, that did buy it with the discount. There you go. Make a lot of sense to be subscribe to Jugobnik Streame, because you can buy for very cheap. Well, the difference between a democracy and a fascist regime doing these things is democracy has to justify the actions and frames it as an exception, whilst fascism frames it as necessary. Yes, both are trying to preserve the status quo, but the methodology they use in order to preserve the status quo is slightly different. That is the main difference between fascism and liberalism. Both fascism and liberalism's main goal is to preserve what? Preserve hierarchy and preserve the current class dynamic as it is. Okay, liberals will do it by convincing you that you live on the best, the best, most democratic place on planet Earth. That there is no better alternative to the way you have it. They will be very lenient when it comes to particular social policies, and sometimes even open to quote unquote socialist, quote unquote social democratic, usually reform in order to alleviate. How much
the revolution never looked so good.
To alleviate what do I want to say, Jesus? Oh, this fucking interrupted me. To alleviate the pressure that the working classes have on the state or on the system as a way to turn off, open up the pressure valve so that there's no revolution. Okay, that is what liberalism is there for. It is there to preserve the status quo by saying that the carrot is much better than the stick. But the carrot is a very small carrot, and usually whatever is left off the carrot after the big rabbit of capitalism eats it, and then you get some basically carrot breadcrumbs. Okay. The opposite side of that, which is on the same page, is fascism. It is once the contradictions of capitalism are so large that you cannot preserve it through slight reform, or by patting them on the head, or by telling them, oh, we can fix everything just with electoralism and so on. It is when that illusion completely breaks, do they take out what? They take out the boots, they take out the sticks, they take out the guns. As I said, they take out the stick. It's no longer carrot time. But both, at the end of the day, try to preserve the status quo. Is liberalism a little bit more chill then fascism, yes, but where? Yes, but where? Liberalism always has to export its quote-unquote fascism abroad because there's no fucking free breakfast, and you have to somehow, guess what, pay for all the shit that your imperialist capitalist state gets to enjoy under so-called, federal or liberal democracy, right? So they still export it. That is why the reaction towards liberals is always far harsher, either by people that have traveled abroad from, very large states. Let's even not just only talk about the United States, like very economically powerful large countries, etc., etc. That they traveled abroad. They see how imperialism gets exported, how fascism gets exported, while they continue to live in their quote unquote liberal utopia. They see the direct connection between the economic growth of the state that they just left with the hyper exploitation of the lumpens or the proletarians, or sometimes even the enslaved from every corner of the world. And that is why they get to this very radical conclusion that is very radical for a lot of people to even hear, and that is that liberalism is not that different to fascism. Okay? Fascism is fascism is taking the foreign policy of liberal states and redirecting it at its own population. That's it. Bringing imperialism home. But I have to say, as your advertising unk, okay, as your proud advertising unk, don't immediately scream at normies and immediately tell them, yo, liberalism is the same as fascism. We all know it is. But if you're talking to a normie, you will sound fucking insane, because the normie does not have any of that context. Absolutely any of that context that I just explained. Thank you very much, Leon, for the sub. Thank you very much. I'm going to count. Wait, let me check the merch, guys. You will sound insane. And I know the feeling and the need to say it, but this is a type of conversation that you throw at social democrats and democratic socialists. This is the type of shit you throw at people that are very, very anti-imperialist. Well, I don't know, when it comes to domestic policies, relatively liberal. Okay? We have multiple purchases, but not off. Oh no, we got Twitch sub discount. Fuck yeah. Thank you very much, person with a P and G as first and last name initials. Thank you very, very much, my friend. And I will add you right here to number 12. Very good, very based. Also, today we might gamba, and if we gamba, there's going to be more subscribers. If there's more subscribers, then there's more discounts for everybody. It's a snake eating its own ass of financial success, brought to you by Ugopnik Twitch. I don't think I've ever met a normie. I disagree. I talk to normies, and I don't insane. Some even agree with me. Yes, if you have enough time to explain to them what I just said, then sure. But if you're just there and you're like, ha, liberals are indeed the same as fascists, you will sound kind of cuckoo. But, if the person is close to you and they will give you the time to properly explain the argumentation, the no free breakfast shit, the you have to export fascism abroad in order to preserve your domestic liberal system, all of this. If you have time and if they are respectfully but like conscious enough to understand said argumentation, then yeah, do it. But I wouldn't call that a liberal. Like, if a person has enough consciousness to understand what you're trying to say through this particular analysis, then they are, a very staunch anti-imperialist. Then they do not completely dehumanize those who happen to not live in the imperial core. They even have a dose of class consciousness. Like, yeah, I'm talking about your proper normie. That's not a proper normie. What the fuck is wrong with my... Everything's bugged. Anyways, back to the story. I hope you guys understood. It is... we passed the 30th minute mark, which makes me remind you guys to subscribe because we have 0 ads. Okay? To subscribe because Western taxpayers must pay their taxes. Pay their restitution. To subscribe because we are 100% grassroots funded by you guys. And number 5 that I can now say, because you get a discount on the merch, which basically makes it a investment. Okay, you are investing in your portfolio by subscribing, and you're investing in the portfolio of 10s, 20s, 30s, 5, or however many subs you gift to, as a means to secure them some merch or just secure them a nice experience here on your Gopnik Twitch. And on top of that, I put like the target is far too high because I wanted to concentrate on merch. But even if we hit like 120, 30, I'll probably let go. And, number 6 is maybe gamble. Maybe fucking gamba. Maybe gamba big. Okay? Okay. Sometimes it depends. Like my dad... claims that he's a Sotsdem, but I spent like 2 hours explaining to him why non-white migrants are also good. Yeah. Okay, you guys are just using your individual examples of something that is a more general systemic analysis that I was trying to fucking give you. Okay, my lovelies? When I said don't walk in and tell a liberal that he is the same as a fascist because he's going to think you're insane, I meant exactly that. Nobody's going to listen to you after you say something, which is relatively correct, but which requires a large underpinning of both class analysis and basically the understanding of imperialism in general. Like, would you immediately go to a person that you met, living, I don't know, you find a random guy that's been living in a cave his whole life and he does not know absolutely anything. Would you immediately start explaining to him how we actually live on a rotating ball that is rotating a massive fucking gas exploding fucking furnace star, and that space has no beginning and no end? No, first you would explain to him how to wipe his ass. And that, you can cook meat. You don't have to eat it raw. That is what I mean. Fucking pace yourself when talking to normies. Because I see too many guys immediately be like, ooh, and they're very well-intentioned and I love them very much. But you just, like, we all sound deranged when we do it. Okay? So pacing. This is not complicated. Don't be weird. That's my tip for you today, chat. Don't be weird. Wear epic drip merch.
Congressman, the global war on terror did, in some ways, see the United States of America adjusting some of the way these rules or versions of them were applied. I mean, President Obama came in for not an inconsiderable amount of criticism for the way he used drones, for example. Pete Hegseth over the weekend said, quote, "These narco-terrorists are the Al-Qaeda of our hemisphere." Do you think that's the correct assessment? And what does it mean?
I love that MAGA wrote the whole peace train, the whole Iraq was stupid, Afghanistan was absolutely fucking idiotic. They lied about the WMDs. And now you can unironically tell them the drugs coming into the U.S. from Venezuela are like weapons of mass destruction. We must immediately invade. He is a mustached evil dictator man who has a sword. Same like Saddam Hussein, we must invade now. They think you're all cretins. They think you're all fucking dog catchers. They think you are all lobotomized, bro.
Mean that he's putting...
The depressing part is they don't even need our consent. That's the fucking hilarious thing. Unless we really, really, really push for a contrast. When the United States invaded Iraq, I think there was the biggest peace protests in the history of the United States in the United States. Did they still fucking kill over 1 million Iraqis? Yeah, they fucking did. Welcome to liberalism.
It that way.
Yeah, what it means is they've learned nothing from the last 20 years of our failed military interventions and adventurism. Right? We spent 20 years, $3 trillion, 7,000 American lives, 2 decades of lost opportunity, tens of thousands of Americans who now have suffered the visible and invisible scars of those battles and those wars, and they ended poorly. Right? So what that tells me is that if something was wrong then, it's also wrong now. And why in God's name would we be using a counterterrorism or nation-building construct to do any of this, right? Because why? We're so damn good at counterterrorism operations? Is that the lesson from the last 20 years? Or that we're great at regime change or nation building? This administration hasn't seen a problem that they don't believe they can solve by dropping a bomb on somebody. And is turning their back on all of the lessons that me and others learned in a really hard way in the last 20 years.
Do you think that these groups pose anywhere near the same danger to the United States of America as Al-Qaeda?
Well, here's the deal. America deserves actual real counter-drugs strategy. You know, tens of thousands of our kids are dying by fentanyl. This administration is actually doing nothing about that, right? Not a single one of these strikes have targeted fentanyl. Like, that's a shocking fact. And it hasn't done anything to disrupt air routes, to disrupt land routes, to disrupt the demand within the United States. There is no counter-drug strategy for this administration, and America deserves better than that. Our children deserve a real strategy.
I almost thought he was going to say America deserves
is a performative
9/11.
exercise where Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth want to show videos of wooden votes being blown up. And oh, by the way, we're spending hundreds of millions of dollars of taxpayer dollars to do that, and it's not actually going to solve the problem. We have been fighting the war on drugs in this nation for 70 years, and this is the same old, tried model that has failed. We need something real and something serious.
Breaking overnight, President Trump declaring in a new interview Ukraine is, quote, losing. Trump's comments to Politico that Russia is in a stronger position came at a key moment in the negotiations to end
I hate
the war in
losers.
Ukraine.
I hate losers, and they're losing. If they were winning, I would have supported them more, but they are losing. I prefer winners. The Russians, they seem to be the winners. They are using number tactics, but still, they are the winners, and I do not care about how you win. I care about winning, okay? Why are we giving money to losers? Losers don't deserve money, okay? If the Ukrainians were to blow up Moscow with nuclear missiles, I would give them all my support. You have to be a winner. Ukraine literally being like, but if you want us to win, but President, if you want us to win, you must give us bombs. No, you must win without me, and then I will give you bombs. I will force you to buy many.
And as Ukrainian President Zelensky...
How do you even do a Zelensky accent? You gotta... I smoke a lot of cigarettes and I am Eastern European. Mr. President, can I have 5 billion rockets to destroy all the children in Donetsk? What was that old meme? Mr. President, can I have 5 million rockets?
Zelensky is stating clearly that Ukraine is not willing to concede land to Russia.
5 million rockets.
People killed.
If this deal, if Zelensky rejects this deal, like, is there a
Holy mother of white person. Holy shit. Is this the final boss of white people? Holy mother of God. Is this the final boss of white people? No, she's a lovely looking lady. God bless her. She's probably smart and brilliant and many other achievements. And now I'm limiting everything on the particular way she looks. And I'm low-key being racist because I'm especially focusing on her race in this particular context where it might actually be low-key racist. Even though, quote unquote, you cannot be racist towards white people in the States. And I agree with that completely. But in this context, it is a bit weird. But holy mother of God, this is like, what's the word? This lady was on every single Nazi poster of all time. Like, holy mother of like she straight from the forgotten Aryan lands from under the water, dude. She was lifted up. She was fucking lifted right up, dude. Final Fantasy goddess, fresh out of the news anchor cloning. No, she doesn't look like them. Okay, the news anchor cloning facility are all brunettes pretending to be blondes. Okay, it's all a bunch of fucking Italian skulls and Spanish skulls and fucking like northern Scandinavian skulls pretending to be Nordic, like proper fucking German Nordic. This is like every fucking Aryan painting would have this lady, right? Even though she fucked up by doing her nose. Now she loses that, like a proper Aryan woman has a larger, chunkier nose. Yes, for those of you who are new here, we do proud woke race science here. Thank you, Mika, the ultimate Yakub. Wow Mao is about to finish the video. You have no idea, okay? I am about to drop Marxism, Yakubism, baby.
Timeline, is there a point at which you say,
Well, he's going to have to get on the ball and
It's only one more month. Yeah, probably like 6 more months.
start.
That guy, like, oh my God. I love that guy as much as I hate that guy. He has pissed in my mouth, like, holy mother of God. It's going to be like 1 hour long. And the edits better be like insanely based.
Accepting things, when you're
It's been years. It's been like 5 months. Yes.
losing, because you're losing.
Joining us now is CNN Global Affairs analyst Brett McGurk. Is this a clear sign that Trump is sticking with the U.S. plan that would force Ukraine to give up?
How many jobs have been created in the United States of America for pretty much everybody, okay? Trump is a job creator. Trump is 100% a job creator, chat. Because there's like at least 10,000 people in that fucking country. Oh my God! The only thing that they do, business, is talk about what they think Trump meant, okay? The ultimate job creator in the United States of America, Donald J. Trump. I will tell you what he thought. And anonymous, Xi Jinping himself. Who the fuck is so based, like, to be anonymous and to give 25 gift subs? That is actually insane. That is that's an angel, okay? That is Santa Claus in the making. Are you Saint Nicholas, and what are you doing in my house? Because I want to make you some tea, okay, and spice it with some Jack motherfucking Daniels, okay? Thank you, Joe's Finn, as well, for the 22 months. One of the OGs, dude. Thank you very much. 22-month streak. That's fucking insane. Sveti Nikola Tesla, brate. Level 6 Hype Train. Let's fucking go. Give as many on this Christmas season. Give to as many chatters, and especially today. If there was ever a time you would gift them, is because we can potentially get them, but because they will get a discount, and then they can buy merch for 10% discounted. So you would be arguably giving, if somebody buys only one shirt for like $5 to $6 per gift sub, you would be giving every new subscriber $11-12. Like, it's fucking beyond based. Thank you very much. I don't think so for the 5 gifties. Thank you very much. Let's fucking go. Chew motherfucking chew. I'm pretty sure that most of you just want to fucking gamble. You absolute psychos. But yeah, mad respect to the unknown gifter. And of course I don't think so, but especially on the unknown gifter. Gifting 25 without using it as a flex is insane. What the fuck? Stop being Santa Claus. I mean, no, don't stop being Santa. I love what the fuck. Okay, dude, keep doing it, but put your name on that fucking thing, man. I want to know who to okay? Anon, like, what the fuck? You need modest. Don't you know me? I made a whole video about how modesty in capitalism is actually not a good thing. It is not a good thing. And you're out here out modesting everybody. Son of a bitch. Just thank me. Mary Jane, thank you as well. Mary Jane, you've done your fair share of gifts and everything, but holy shit. Anon, what the fuck? Anon, I love you, Anon, but what the fuck? Like, flex, bro, flex it. Okay? Fucking Santa Claus up in here. Even Santa Claus flexes. Motherfucker flies around the sky, screams ho, ho, ho. You know? Sexist ass motherfucker. Thank you, Seabass. Thank you very much.
A new child soldier, subscriber.
My parents lied. Santa Claus is real, and he is in Ugopnik's chat. Now, all of you motherfuckers that got a free fucking gift sub, now you go to theprogramshop.com, okay? You go to this, and you get some based ass, ethical, whatever the fuck your liberal proclivities call upon, but good-looking ass motherfucking merch for 10% discounted. Like, God damn it. This is am I running a pyramid scheme because this shit is too good to be true? Oh, I mean, this is an MLM scheme, if you know what I mean. Do you guys sell cigarettes in the shop? No, I wanted to add like 10 cigarette packs per shirt and ship them from where I'm at because they're relatively cheap, but they refuse to do so. They refuse to do so. Oh, shit. Where the fuck is it?
Thing a matter when you know progress can't
work. Is this a...
Anyways, I was saying before a fucking Santa Claus walked in here and gave 50 gift subs, you crazy motherfucker. I was saying that Donald Trump is the greatest job provider of all time, for there are at least 10,000 American news anchors whose entire job is to sit there and say, I believe Donald Trump meant this with this. Oh no, I believe he meant this with this. Oh no, I disagree, for he meant this with this, okay? More presidents whose politics is as schizophrenic as possible in order to get as many people into the content economy. Okay,
clear sign.
$12 a pack here. That's insane. That's insane. Where I'm at, they're soon going to be joining the European Union. Sorry, they have joined the European Union a while ago, but they will soon be joining the Euro. All of you know where I'm based at this point, so I don't give a shit. And that's everybody's saying that's really gonna increase the price of. It's really going to increase. I got a new purchase, but not from a Twitch sub. The price of cigarettes potentially. It's gonna be crazy. Gonna be crazy. Cuphead always hitting me with the top tier clip arenas. What is this? But yeah, mad respect to the unknown gifter, and of course I don't think so, but especially on the unknown gifter, gifting 25 without like using it as a flex is insane. What the fuck? Stop being Santa Claus. I mean, no, don't stop being Santa. I love what the fuck. Okay, dude, keep doing it, but put your name on that fucking thing, man. I want to know who to clock. That was really good, dude. That was really good. The cut off, that was a 10 out of 10 tier, dude. What currencies does Bulgaria use? Euro soon, bro.
That Trump is sticking with the U.S. plan that would force Ukraine to give up some territory. He's gone after the president of Ukraine a couple of times in the last couple of days.
Yeah, Sarah, progress has been made in this negotiation. There's
50 seconds of the hype train left. I don't know. Let's hit a fucking tenner. Okay, I know I'm being greedy here, but I think we can hit a tenner. Tenner. Come on, tenner. Because it just looks nice. Doesn't it look nice? There's just a 10. It's a 10. Like individual subs, fucking biddies. It's going to be like a 10. Just, it looks nice. There's no, but I'm not giving any other argument. It just looks nice. It's like, poof, it's a 10. It's like a 10. No, you don't want like a 10, like oof, 10, 10.
Crazy hamburger! Crazy hamburger!
I have to start counting towards taxpayers as well, because I don't think so is fucking killing it. But there's too many texts. I have too many schemes going on. So there's too many texts. Thank you very much. I don't think so. Everybody say thank you. I don't think so. I don't think so is like, I don't think so. But thank you very much. Level 10 hype train achieved. I am very grateful. I'm very grateful, and now there's more people that can use their fucking discount to buy some merch today. Okay? And if it goes well, I might continue it, but I most likely won't. Okay. Very good. Do you see how I'm leaving a little legal loopholes for me? Even though there's nothing to do with the law on this topic, but God bless. Thank you. I don't think so. Thank you very, very, very much. Very kind of you. Somebody write down somewhere on the side that we are, what's the word? How many Western taxpayers we had, right? I'm going to write in my mod chat 2 Western taxpayers. Okay. Anyways, let's continue.
A framework for what the end of the war can look like. But on the key issue of territorial concessions, there has been no progress. And it's kind of an error in diplomacy to keep pressing a matter when you know progress can't be made. And right now on this issue of territory, things are stuck. The president seems to have in his mind that this territory is going to be taken by Russia in any case, so Ukraine might as well basically sue for peace and take a deal. But we're in the 4th year of this war, and the Russians have not been able to take this territory in the Donbass. It's called the Fortress Belt for Ukraine. It's their most defensible territory. They consider it critical to the defense of their country going forward. So I actually think the assumption is the reverse. I think Russia actually cannot take this land without enormous costs and over a period of years. That's according to a UK intelligence assessment. But in diplomacy, there's always assumptions you make. The president seems to assume, again, that Russia is going to take this territory militarily, therefore Ukraine has to concede. I actually think the opposite assumption is right, and therefore...
Or maybe it's not only assumptions about the battlefield that play a role in political decisions of states. Oh, wow, the mind blowing. And maybe Trump's particular interests when it comes to this conflict are not only defined by the suppression of the Russian invasion or the suppression of and blockage of Russia's advancement westwards. Maybe it's a little bit more complicated. Maybe also America's MAGA-specific trajectory and view of the Russian Federation's role in the perseverance of American imperial dominance is slightly different than that of Western Europeans. And maybe MAGA-style America would be very willing to, quote-unquote, throw the interests of Western European states under the bus as a way to establish potential future relationships with the Russian Federation post this conflict. That's number one. Number two is obviously the massive pain in the ass that he probably individually feels from not being able to deliver on this peace deal, because it's a very large part of his platform, but all of you know this. This is very basic analysis. Do you think the EU could beat Russia in a war? I mean, it would be a very long and bloody, insane standstill. If they don't use nuclear missiles, you would just have Ukraine 2.0. Without direct American support, though, you never know who could win. But like this, it would just be a standstill, a continuous, insane standstill. So is worst-case scenario here right-wing factions leveraging nationalism in Ukraine around the fallout of the war and the likely loss of territory to improve their prominence? That is going to happen 100%. Okay? And maybe not necessarily right-wing parties, but whatever party defines itself as the... political power comes out of contradiction. The longer this war lasts in Ukraine, more and more political options are going to arise that, for example, pitch, not for the end of this war, but for harder negotiations towards potential peace. In contrast, if potential peace is achieved and the Russians are given even like territory that the Ukrainians themselves see as belonging to their, to be their, parts of their sovereign state. If that happens, then there will be parties that take advantage of that contradiction, that will pitch the previous government's betrayal in the way they signed a pact with the enemy. Whatever way, whatever direction this particular conflict goes in, there will be a strong reaction to that direction, which will form as a political movement in Ukraine proper. Okay, that's what is going to happen. That is my prediction, and this is very classic, again, dialectical materialist analysis. Okay, and Jesus Christ, Astro J, look at me, Astro J. Mwah. I said, look at me. Mwah. I said, look at me. Mwah, 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 mwah. 10 kisses. 10 kisses. Or Astro J, you motherfucker. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. And let me see. The new purchase. Is it a Twitch chatter? Let me see.
Subscriber.
It is not a Twitch chatter. A lot of people are buying without the discount you guys have as I'm streaming, and you guys don't use your discount. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Look at this shit.
Wonderful.
Look at this shit. Look at this shit. It's shit, right? Look, there's a Dongfeng missile. We made a shirt where there's a Dongfeng missile, and it says Chairman Xi, fire when ready, and there's a boom button. And this is a Dongfeng that looks like a cock. that the designer beautifully, like, made, like, showed parts of and so on.
Wonderful, a new child soldier. Subscriber.
Like, come on. Is this not this is so fucking edgy, but in a cool way, because it also looks great on you. It's insane. Like, I ordered, like, 2 of them.
Crazy hamburger! Crazy hamburger!
Antifa Secretariat, I got one for you, baby. Look. You are Antifa Secretariat, you are promoted. You are now the CEO of Antifa. Can't wait somebody to be arrested on a protest wearing this. It's going to be fucking hilarious.
A new child soldier.
Low-key hardcore baiting Fox News with this one. Please, Fox News. Make my merch famous. Please. Nice Dong Fang, but I prefer the Poo Dang meat-seeking cruising missile. Ah, yeah. I agree to you, dude, champ. And thank you for the streak, baby.
For the formula, you put this framework together, the formula on land is freeze.
Who's the guy on the CEO of Antifa shirt? We found, but that's the joke. Redfield, come on, you're one of the smartest people I know. That's the joke. We found the most random stock footage guy that was just like this, pointing at himself, and we obviously traced and redesigned him a little bit so that it's not copyright, and we put him on the art. It's a stock footage guy. Like, that's the meme. Like, everybody's Antifa. Everybody's Antifa. I love how I have to explain the joke. That makes it even funnier, That's how it usually works.
We are now.
Gotta head out, but stay strong, chat. Thank you. I don't think so. Thank you for everything, my friend. Have fun.
Now and stop the war and end the war, which you all want. So this is the key issue of territory. It seems to be stuck. I think the best play here is to support the Ukrainians through the winter, and then in the spring return to the negotiating table. Putin always thinks winter advantages him. He tries to break his opponents in the winter. This is the 4th winter. It's a difficult winter for Ukraine, but Putin is not going to pick up this land militarily. And in the spring, there might be another opportunity.
Also, for a lot of people that maybe do not interact with a lot of Ukrainians or Russians, which I happen to interact with both on a pretty much weekly, sometimes even daily basis. I don't think a lot of you understand just how, say bless you, just how transformed Ukrainian society is right now by this war. Okay? Every single human being in that country has been touched by it one way or another. And it is now office spaces filled with people that shot at other people, car mechanics that have shot at other people, secretaries that have shot at other people. The guy serving you coffee in the cafe. Fucking professional military killer. It's on a scale so profoundly huge that it will potentially create a kind of interesting blend between military identity and civil life. Like the entire identity of the Ukrainian people will very much so be molded by the participation in this conflict. The way it was for the Vietnamese people, for example. The way it was for Afghans. Holy shit. Afghanistan is not a fucking example of this. Holy mother of God. But they're, Ukraine on steroids. It was like 50 fucking years. Have a good one, think so. So yeah, it is quite surreal. It is the level of, dude, I don't know how TikTok finds thinks how it determines what country you might be from or not, but because I hang out with a few, and then my TikTok sometimes thinks I'm Russian or Ukrainian. Do you know how many I get semi-regular fucking memes that are in Ukrainian, so I don't understand much because I don't speak Ukrainian necessarily, even though it's even closer to Serbo-Croatian than Russian is. Obviously, territory closer, etc., influenced by of us to them and them to us. But they're just guys on the front making memes. And then I opened the account and I browsed down, and then he's back from the front, and then he's making videos about how to, I don't know, put a TV on a wall because he's a mechanic, right? I literally found a Ukrainian dude that like had like fucking 120, 30,000 followers. And if you scroll down, he built up his following because he's a guy that does furniture, right? Does furniture, makes furniture out of wood. But then he went, and then he became like a artillery guy. And then all of his content turned from an artillery to like artillery shit. Tips for other artillery guys. High scores. Insane shit. Like he has one video where he's showing off the different patches of the enemy that he took like from corpses. So yeah, war is absolutely insane. And sometimes it's necessary, unfortunately, for pasty-ass motherfuckers such as myself to see what it does to other pasty-ass motherfuckers, to remind us of why it's very bad and why no war but class war. I hope the furniture guy can go back to being a furniture guy. I hope so as well, but what do you think the chances are? Especially when now, because of the size of the deployment, because of the size of the army that has participated, the potential for politically co-opting this very military identity for so many people in the country, this contradiction is going to be huge. It's going to be huge. If I was a political opportunist trying to build something for myself in Ukraine post-war, I would literally call it the military party. I'm not even fucking kidding. I would literally call it the military party. Fill it up hardcore with fucking veterans, with people that have lost people to the war, with people that, you know, do not think the war should ever end until every single inch of territory is returned. Dude, you would win you just gotta need the face of the party has to be some insanely experienced soldier, though. Not a fucking major, not a fucking general. I want a dude that has racked skulls. Okay? That's why they say that the worst capitalists are ex-fucking Marxists. Dude, I would milk that would be so. And that might also be the future for Russia post-Putin. But there isn't as much of a military identity in Russia because of its huge contrast in size. So while there have been millions of Russians that have been exposed to war, and then tens of millions of Russians that have lost someone that they know that participated in the war, the scale of militarization of Russia, because there's no war on Russian territory, unless I guess you define Crimea and the republics as Russian territory. I don't enter this conversation because it's absurd. There is that military identity did not form up as much, while in Ukraine it very much so has. Was the PBS episode doc on Avdiivka? I'm not on the side. I was just genuinely curious what the war looked like in Ukraine, given PBS as a Western perspective. That shit is insanely tough. No, that shit is insanely tough. And I know that a lot of people will be like, heard there, bro, like, oh, you're just considering it a different war because there's white-looking people doing it. And shit, that's a pretty decent fucking argument. But no, there is a sort of special tag on this particular conflict because it's two regular armies, a lot of PMCs, a lot of fucking mercenaries, a lot of so-called volunteers, fucking mercenaries. Like 1% of the people who call themselves volunteers are not fucking mercenaries. Okay, if you're a volunteer, you don't take a salary. You go, you fight, you go back home. You don't take 40,000 euro payouts from either side, okay? But what do I want to say? the scale, the technology being used, the fact that it's two regular armies, the fact that it's border to border. Come the fuck on. The introduction of the modern approach to the use of cheap drones. It's the scale is insane, okay? It is not just Israelis doing a fucking genocide on civilians, okay? It is two regular armies beating the living fucking shit out of each other, and it is a scale that is absolutely to an extent special. In all the worst ways, though. I guess the only way it's not horrendous, even though there has been a lot of war crimes against civilians in this fucking war, a lot of them. I am unironically surprised by, or at least we don't have information yet, I am surprised by the scale of, this is going to sound so realpolitik and cringe, but the scale of professionalism by the regular armies when it comes to... I was expecting, when this thing started, I thought we would be seeing like no degree of professionalism like in the post-Yugoslav armies, okay? You had paramilitaries everywhere that were to an extent even unhooked from the state. They were just like just hang civilians on every fucking traffic post they could find, right? I'm not saying that this doesn't happen, but the scale is for now very different, unless we hear some new information. Conventional war, yeah. But this is like, I know I sound like fucking insane, but especially for a Marxist audience, but the professionalism shown could have been worse. That's what I'm saying. The professionalism shown could have been worse. To be fair, being in a post-Yugoslav part of the world would color your expectations a bit. Yes, it would, but I think the parallels are absolutely there. The Yugoslav wars began because an international socialist project was destroyed, which directly leads to a contradiction between the newly formed states on the topics of what is my territory and what is my ethnicity, and most importantly, who gets to do self-determination. Tell me how that is different to the Russo-Ukrainian war. It all goes back to the illegal destruction of an internationalist project, which then creates massive contradictions, which are utilized by domestic political powers as a means to either provoke war, start war, or argue for why their side is superior in said war. Okay? If you really want to do a proper, to properly find the fucking root cause of this, that is what you do as a Marxist. You don't go like, the second you go into, but what about the right, this self-determination? Oh, no, but what about the sovereignty? Because you're like always going to be insanely subjective. Oh, what about the self-determination of the Russian people in Crimea? Oh, what about the sovereignty of Ukraine as an independent state? Fucking, this is realpolitik garbage, okay? You're always going to pick a side, and that's fine. Pick a side. Be principled. God bless. Pick up a gun. Go fight for one of them. I don't give a shit, right? But us, if we wanna learn, if we wanna create a better world, we have to address the root issues that have led to said problems. You understand? It's not fucking complicated. The real root cause is always resources. In Ukraine's case, raw earth. But again, my friend, you're doing the same, right? Sure, yes, it's a contradiction of them having as much territory as they do that could potentially be utilized by someone else. But the calls for national wars always come from particular contradictions that come from something else. Oh, we were imperialized at some point. Once they, quote-unquote, left, they drew the lines in a fucked up way. Now there's people that don't want to live with each other, living with each other, and both want self-determination, but that leads to war. That is a contradiction which led to a national war. The destruction and disillusionment of an internationalist project, such as the Soviet Union or such as Yugoslavia, leads to war because all of the independent nation states, which now have a vested interest in expanding their own power, will use different legal arguments on why do you get to self-determine and I don't get to self-determine. These are contradictions given to them by international law as a legitimate argument for why fight it. And then the side you pick in those two conflicts will again be informed by the contradictions of you being a working class subject of international capital. Which is what the fuck does that mean that I just said? If your material interests or ideological perspective is closer to what the Russian Federation wants to achieve or to what the Ukraine wants to achieve, you will be a guy that roots for one or the other. That is what is. I'm trying to low key like be your meta psychologist, right? Don't think too much that most of your like attributes and most of your attitudes and perspectives again are informed by this set of interests that you have in you, and that's what makes you human, and that's fine. That's what makes you human. That's fine. That's fine. The only thing that Marxists are trying to push forward is systemic change, and if we spend all our time on realpolitik as such. Ooh, what did this president do? Oh, what did that politician say? Oh, what did this country do versus that other country? Let's scale country A versus country B as more based or less based. The further we stray away from God, the further we stray away from refocusing everybody's conversation on the root cause of all of these problems, which is, at the end of the day, class contradiction. Liberal legalism is a major reason international law is such a joke. Yeah, I agree. Just as a sidebar, a lot of people were using America invading Canada if we sided with Chinese economically as a way to get diehard libs to understand the Russian freak out over their buffer zones. That's what 400 years, 400 years in the making. And now that it's happening, the same territorial freak out assertions are coming up. Yes, of course. And again, after everything that I've said, there's still chatters that are like, one is throwing, but what about sovereignty? And then the other one is throwing, what about self-determination of this? And again, you're just masturbating in the fucking I'm more enlightened Olympics. Whatever. Enjoy it. But always remember, it's masturbation. All I'm saying is I'm hyper skeptical to anybody that is just like, no, I'm not even going to fucking say it because it's going to be misconstrued. You got to choose what you want to be in life. Do you want to simply be a side chooser, or do you want to be somebody who helps figure out why we have to choose sides? And Marxist organizers are the fucking latter. Others are sophisticated consumers of news. The first group, I mean. Ones are philosophers. The others are philosophers who actually want to change something, which makes them materialists. Explain it to me like I'm a majmun. Jedno je, brate, ovi su bolji od ovih drugih, a drugo je, brate, daj nešto da uradimo na temu da uopšte ne moramo da biramo između jednog i drugog.
For diplomacy, but right now, it appears.
Anyways,
to be
let me blow my nose.
Yeah. In meantime, the war is ongoing.
Buy merch,
People are
10%
suffering
off.
Through it there in Ukraine. I do want to ask you about comments that Trump also told Politico when it comes to how he views NATO and whether a message of tough love is being sent to them. Listen.
NATO calls me daddy. I mean, I have a lot to say about it. Look, I raised you know, the GDP from 2% to 5%. The 2% they weren't paying and the 5% they are paying. And they're paying it because when we send things over, NATO pays for it, and I assume they give it to Ukraine. But Europe is being destroyed.
I guess I just need to ask you a couple of questions. What do you think he means by Europe is being destroyed?
Oh my God, I love this. You remember my joke from earlier? I'm a funny guy. I'm a very funny guy. My joke from earlier. There are tens of thousands of people in the United States of America whose entire career is saying, this is what I think Donald Trump said. This is what I think Donald Trump meant with that expression.
And that NATO calls him daddy?
Well, Sarah, look, America's comparative advantage in the world against countries like China or Russia are allies, our web of alliances, and central to that is Europe and NATO. And yeah, the Europeans are difficult to deal with. It's hard for them to make decisions. Sometimes they act collectively through the EU. That's because of the history of Europe and 2 world wars. Right. I mean, these are arrangements they've put together. I don't think that that kind of, unless the president has some aim here, he's trying to get the Europeans to do something specifically. It is tough love. If it's really America kind of walking away from Europe because we don't like where certain
political interpreters, yeah, but that's a harder job, okay? Because you will be proven right or wrong. Trump interpreters, though, are like an eternal grind, Sesh. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Countries' domestic politics are heading. I think that's a very dangerous signal, not only for Russia and Putin, but also for Xi Jinping and China. You know, Xi Jinping and China, he will be making his own calculations about Taiwan, which would be a cataclysmic conflict that we have to do everything we possibly can to deter. And he has said he wants his military to be ready by 2027. So we could be heading into a much more dangerous world here, and we're going to need our allies. We're going to need our allies, particularly NATO and the Europeans.
Why would it be cataclysmic? Why do you want to participate?
Brett McGurk, you always have great analysis. I really do appreciate you coming on and talking us through all this. Let us now go to
Mr. President.
Miss Kira.
I need 1 million Dongfang missiles. Wait, sorry, wrong phone. I was calling Xi.
Rudik.
Mr. President Xi, the Russians are pivoting to Washington. You must give us rockets. We will change the name of Azov into the People's Army, sir. Just more rockets now, please.
Who is?
I cannot do a Zelensky accent for the love of my life. We just got a new merch purchase. Let me see if it's a beautiful chatter. As a reminder to all chatters, you have 10% off during the stream if you are a subscriber, and even if you aren't subscribing now and buying some merch, we'll basically render your subscription free because you will get a discount of the same size even if you buy one shirt. But if you buy multiple ones, then you're going to be even cheaper. It's crazy. That is insane. And yes, it was a chatter. Thank you very much, chatter, for that very sizable purchase. Thank you very much for that sizable purchase. And I'm going to put you here, okay? We're definitely gonna have a drip check, but with chatters on stream. You're gonna send me some photos on the Discord, and then I'm gonna rate how you carried the program drip, okay?
A member of Ukraine's parliament after hearing all these things. I do want you to listen to Trump's new comments where he talks directly about your president. Here's
May you say I love Amazon. Good luck. You're going to kick ass.
What he said.
People killed.
If this deal, if Zelensky rejects this deal,
Yeah.
is there a timeline? Is there a point at which you say, okay.
Well, he's going to have to get on the ball and start accepting things. You know, when you're losing, because you're losing.
What does it mean to you to hear that?
Oh my God, this entire CNN, all of it is this lady asking people, what do you think he means, bro? I don't know. What do you think he means, dude?
In this peace process, the president of the United States is attacking your president and European allies, but not Russia or President Putin.
Hello, Sarah, and thank you so much for having me. It is indeed painful because I'm sure it's not only American people who are watching this. There are people fighting at the front line, risking their life for democracy, for Europe, who are hearing such a harsh thing from President of the United States, one of our strongest allies.
Oh, Jesus, thank you
And-
very much, Chatter. Thank you for telling me that. What the fuck? That was stupid. Thank you, Chatter.
It's-
Still, not hackable, but crazy.
Simply not true. It tries to be a self-fulfilling prophecy, but it never will. And really, our answer is to ask President Trump to start pushing pressure onto Russia and not only on Ukraine. What is disappointing, what is so painful, that since he came into the office, he was only pressuring Ukraine for a peace deal that doesn't seem to actually be working and be a workable thing. However, we only hear...
Yeah, because the bet there was that the Ukrainians will, can be pressured into basically giving up, while the Russians cannot. That was the whole bet. That is why he concentrated on the Ukrainians instead of the Russians when it comes to the pressure. That's number one. Number two is you cannot pressure somebody who is literally your opponent in the field. Like Ukraine or the United States is fighting with Ukrainian bodies against the Russian Federation as well. So if you just want to throw everything under the rug and finish this off as fast as possible, who do you pressure? You pressure your fucking ally, because it is with your ally that you have what to pressure them over. And then category number two, of course, is there's potential victories to be made by the Republican Party at the current moment in the United States by creating some sort of stable relationship with the Russian Federation, quote unquote, whatever the fuck that is supposed to mean, because that's a whole animal of its own to unpack. Was there ever a time when the news reported information as facts and not opinion farming bullshit? I've only known CNN slop growing up, and even then I knew there was, it had no substance. There is no such thing as objective reporting, my dear friend. But there was a greater form of editorial power over what journalists can say when it comes to choosing a particular side or not. They realize, though, that in the market economy, especially private media, that doesn't make money. What makes money is screaming about your opinion. So that's what they did. Pre-24-hour news, yeah, that's a very good point. It was much better then, because the financial factor was different. Jesus Christ, we had 3 new purchases, okay? One by a non-Twitcher, another one by a Twitch sub. Let's fucking go. Such a big discount, 3 times what you get. That's so cool. You bought the Beijing thing. We basically break even on the Beijing, on the flag jackets, but we still wanted to sell them because it's fucking cool. But yeah, there it's like, I don't know, the platform just charges an absurd amount of money for all over prints, and it's already insanely expensive. I wanted that to be much cheaper, but that was like it was so stupid. Then we had another one who is not from Twitch, and let's see, now we have the newest person with the Swedish brick. Let's go. Also from Twitch. I love you, chatters. Thank you very much for el supporto. We are going up to 15 purchases. I mean, why am I thanking you? I'm giving you a discount. Oh my god, it keeps going off, chat. Holy shit. Holy shit, we got another one? Let's see. People seem to like this merch. Where do you ship from? The United States and Latvia, I believe. It's a very custom. They got like shipping offices everywhere. But I think most of it is printed in the U.S. under all the fucking ethical fucking type shit. Benjamin, sorry, I almost read your fucking name. But no, another by a less privileged non-Twitch subscriber.
Actually be working and be a workable thing. However, seem to actually be working and be a workable thing. However, we only hear promises to start putting pressure on Russia. Ukraine is not a problem here, and there is no other nation than Ukrainian that wants this war to end, because it's our people who are being killed every single day and night at the battlefield and in the peaceful cities. However, if we stop fighting, there will be no Ukraine. If Russia stops fighting, there will be no war, and there will be actually peace. And how is it that it's all so reverse? And in the speech, I just really cannot understand and cannot explain it to people in Ukraine. So
Yeah, this is impossible to explain to people in Ukraine. If I was Ukrainian, I would literally, my brain would completely melt. But that's what happens when you think that empire is on your side, and you forget that the empire is only exercising its interests on your territory. So yeah, it's not betrayal when from the get-go it wasn't a friendship. Shout out to Pay Pigs, bro. They bought my shirt. Oh, that's sick as fuck. Hell yeah. There should be an option where you can gift shirts, but I don't know how to integrate that. There's some stuff like I think there's a like gift merch thing, but they can't cover your delivery fee. So it's you will still have to pay a delivery fee. Let me see how it works. I'm a hackerman now. I am big merch guy. I am big business now. I forget all of you and sell t-shirt. Twitch gifting. There you go. It works. Allow products to be gifted while I'm live on Twitch. There you go. I'm turning it on. So how is it supposed to work? Well, I turned it on. I don't know how the fuck it's going to work. Gifted says, but for products and memberships, viewers can purchase gifts. Chat when you're live. Learn more. Okay, so what is this supposed to be? Engage your Twitch community with on-stream merch and membership. Okay, I turned it on. So how do they use it? How do I show them to use it? How do they use it? No, I have to turn on a giveaway. What? Additional giveaway settings. Choose how extra shipping costs. Okay. But how does the giftable make all products? The giveaway process. And gifting is only available when you are live on Twitch. Once you have completed the setup process, a gift the product section will appear under the products you selected for gifting. Okay, did I select all of the products for El Gifturu? Ask gift winner to cover extra cost. Yes, they should. Make all products giftable while I'm live streaming. Yes, all of them are giftable. So does it work? Let me see. So how can I gift to this? Oh, there you go. Gift to chat. That's insane. That's crazy. So what? I just go gift to Twitch chat? Oh, fuck, no, it's going to show my full name or some shit. But yeah, you go there and you can buy it for other chatters. So if anybody gets some merch, that's kind of crazy. I don't know. I mean, I support it, but I think it makes more sense to subscribe and then get a discount. Just buy it yourself, but I guess tell us your credit card number. I mean, you saw what it finishes on. You can hacker me now. Let's continue.
We just hope that this is just yet one of the tactics that President Trump is known to be using to put.
Oh, my friend, please do not cope. And please do not cope by thinking that, okay, it is a change in administration that is doing this. In America, administrations change because the status quo of what is perceived as the future direction America needs to take changes. So Trump is not a representation. Trump is not the president because he co-opted something. Trump is the president because he lives in Trump's America. Presidents are a mirror of the current status of the country in, modern liberal states.
Put pressure on Ukrainian side. However, we do not see any workable deal right now, and we just cannot understand what is expected from Ukraine, especially in this public space.
Yeah, you say that you cannot see, as far as Ukrainian perspective, cannot see any workable deal right.
Do the discount stack? No, because that would render all the products break even. We're, unfortunately.
Now, I do want to talk about President Zelensky's comments where he said, look, Ukraine has no legal right constitutionally or internationally to give up any territory. Are there any lawmakers, such as yourself in Ukraine, who say they are willing to give up some territory in order to end the war that Russia started?
From my perspective, I do not know anyone who would do that. However, let's reverse this question. What would be the security guarantee? What would be the guarantee that Russia would not attack us again if they are stopped right now, if we agree to any sort of the deal right now? So we hear only the questions, what would Ukraine give up? And are there territories that we are willing to give up? But we do not hear the most important thing is, okay, so but what would be a way that we would know that this war would not repeat itself? Because right now, the only way we see is that Russia will continue fighting. They may stop for a year or two, wait for the sanctions to be lifted, regroup, rest, and then attack us again. If we learn something since 2014, when they attacked us for the first time, this is their strategy and it did not change at all. So what we are asking of our allies, like, how is this time going to be different? Who or what will make sure that Putin will keep his part of the bargain? And that's the most complicated question that nobody wants to answer right now. And everybody just wants to pressure Ukraine and...
Because there's no answer to it. That's the massive contradiction of this whole fucking mess. Okay? That's why it's most likely there's going to be a frozen conflict that goes on forever. Unless the need for scoring political points by the U.S. establishment becomes so large that they somehow force the Ukrainians into it. But that would also be very difficult because of everything explained earlier and the incredibly military culture that is now very, very present in Ukraine. So even pressuring particular political leadership could lead to a immediate coup of said political leadership. So it's just frozen forever, ever. There's no, the contradictions are too heavy on both sides. And neither side will agree on a sort of middle ground because of the contradictions that are present.
See if we are ready to badge here and there. Well, we did not choose to capitulate in 2020.
9/11-2 this time is white. No, 9/11-2 this time is Slavic. Okay, my friend, I will not have my beautiful Ukrainians being called white. Okay, we want 100% of 9/11-2 to be properly repped by Slavs. We do not want to be confused with the Germanics.
We are not choosing to capitulate right now. Situation is indeed very hard, but President Trump was wrong saying that we didn't have any cards, and I still believe that we still have some.
I can hear the frustration in your voice as you're hearing these words from the president about your president, about the country. In the meantime, I know that there are people in Ukraine.
Yeah, it's normal to be frustrated. It looks like you're being, quote-unquote, abandoned because you were constantly promised the infinite ammo glitch. But turns out the infinite ammo glitch just got patched.
Times ever in their lives as the war continues there unabated. Kira Rudik, thank you so much for coming on and discussing this with us.
Where do you draw the East-West Europe line? In Berlin, as it was always drawn, my dear friend. But I count the Baltics as West. I refuse the Baltics. They are Westerners. They are pure Westerners. The rest is good old East. Czechs are a little bit Western, but we will accept them. They just need to chill the fuck out on the racism, and that's it. Eastern Europeans get their white status revoked and reinstated. Oh, we always do. Slowly, Ukrainians are having it revoked. Ukrainian refugees that live in good old Good old Germany and good old France and good old UK are already feeling it on their skin, and they will see how right now there's going to be huge conversations about sending Syrians back. Like, I hope you understand this. This is going to be mainstream as fuck, and this is going to be supported by a lot of liberals as well. The war in Syria is over. What the fuck are you doing here? And rejection of all refugee statuses and people who had their ID linked to the refugee status. I don't know the legality of it in particular, but they're going to be sent back because now there is no war. That is also going to be done for Ukrainians because all of a sudden they will, not be quite as white. But depends on the country. Depends on the country. Some countries really, really appreciate the massive influx of the Ukrainian workforce, which can then blend in with domestic whites. So they get a cheap labor pool of people who were doctors but now clean toilets, and they don't have as much complaining from reactionaries about how they are destroying their culture and so on. So it's the cheap Ukrainian workforce has always been a win-win, even for the most racist of Western Europeans. But turns out they're more racist than you would think. Like the Polish are really harping on get all the fucking Ukrainians out, but there's millions upon millions of Ukrainians, so that's their like reactionary argumentation. The Czechs are hardcore on like the Ukrainian immigration and so on. So it's interesting.
Trump is about to take his economic message on the road. He'll visit a critical swing district in eastern Pennsylvania.
Oh, I love swingers. Chat, you like swingers? Donald Trump is definitely a swinger. But is Melania a swinger? That's a better question. This is called the Trump rates his economy an A++++. I had to click on this, Bjat. How do I not click on this?
Today, as he celebrates the state of the economy, he said this in an interview.
I mean, if Melania isn't a swinger, then she just does not have sex, because I don't think it's possible with my boy Donnie. Okay, I don't think it's possible. The only thing Donnie can do is suck a good dick. That's it.
With Politico.
I do want to talk about the economy, sir, here at home, and I wonder what grade you would give.
A plus.
A+.
Yeah, A plus.
This looks AI generated, dude. I love it so much. I love it so much. I am NATO's. NATO calls me daddy. My economy is A+++++. Oh God. Let's see. We have a merch order. Let us see who it is from. Is it a chatter? We can get it for 10% off. 10% off if he is a subscriber. Yes, it is. Thank you very much. They bought the Chairman Fire when ready. Very based. You got like a lot of tax on your shit. I don't know where you're from, but that's insane. That's a lot of tax. Your country loves that tax. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Strongly disagree. A recent CBS News YouGov poll found 60% believe the president makes things sound better than they really are when it comes to prices and inflation. 27% said he's right on point. 13% feel he paints a gloomier economic picture than what's really happening. Let's go to CNN senior White House reporter Kevin Liptak right now. Kevin, is this the message people in Pennsylvania can expect to hear today from the president?
Yeah.
Kevin Lib.
And this is really an opportunity for the president to road test that economic message and his claims that he's bringing prices down. This event itself has become something of a rarity for the president. You know, we really haven't seen him go out for a campaign rally style event speaking to his supporters about his agenda since April. And many of his allies have felt that that was just too long, that it signaled a lack of focus and attention on the people and the issues that brought him to the White House in the first place. And so So that will be sort of his mission when he is up in the Poconos today. Now, whether the president delivers the message that many Republicans want him to deliver, I think is a second question. You know, the president has spent the last several weeks really downplaying this idea of affordability, calling it a con job, calling it a hoax. And so it remains an open question of whether he will be able to sort of convince some of these people that he's speaking to in eastern Pennsylvania that he's doing everything he can on the economy. I want you to listen to more.
He's not even going to try. He's going to triple down, dude. He's going to triple down. It's a hoax. It's a Democrat hoax. I'm just not doing this.
What the president said in that Politico interview about this very topic.
It's been 10 months. It's amazing what we've done. If you think of gasoline a gallon, they had it at $4.50, almost $5. You go to some of the states, you had it at $6. We hit 3 states 2 days ago, $1.99 a gallon. When that happens, everything comes down.
Now, recent political experience has shown
Let's see.
that it can be quite difficult to convince Americans that the economy is doing better than they feel. President Biden tried that and it didn't really work. This district that the president...
Well, when it comes to the Trump effect, I think it is the opposite. You can convince people that the economy is doing better, even if it isn't for Trump supporters. Okay? You can convince MAGA that it's actually super based that their eggs cost $40 because they're based white eggs.
President is heading to is a critical swing district. Joe Biden won it in 2020.
3 states, motherfucker, there's 50. 50. 3 states, motherfucker, there's...
Trump won it in 2024. The freshman Republican representative there, Rob Bresnahan, is a top target for Democrats in next year's midterm elections. And polls, even in Pennsylvania, show that voters really don't find that the president's handling of the economy has been top-notch. A survey from Quinnipiac
Bless me, I'm sick.
Showed that
Sick in the head.
those who found that the economy was doing either not so good or poor was 52%. Those who said it was good or excellent, it was at 46%. And so how the president messages this today, I think will be important to watch. His advisors say that this will be the first of many domestic trips talking about the economy coming up as the midterm elections start to get underway.
With us now, CNN political commentators Paul Begala and David Urban. David, you know, the president heading to Pennsylvania, your home turf today, to deliver this message on affordability that White House advisors desperately want him to be on message about, is saying the economy is A+++++ on message for that?
Listen, I think the president needs to have an I feel your pain moment today.
A++++.
When you enable chatters to buy something, someone merch is showing that the program is streaming, not your channel. Well, I am sacrificing myself and my beautiful chatters for the greater deprogram goal. I am making JT and Hakeem much wealthier because we split the profit made from said merch. So, yeah. You see, this is such an incredible sacrifice on my end over here, streaming and pitching it. It's pretty crassy.
Listen, the economy is, you know, it's doing better, right? Gas prices are down.
Reminder, because the economy is doing better exactly at the second hour. Chat, you heard it. The economy is doing better. So why am I not seeing bigger numbers? Bigger numbers right here, okay? Look, already this number go boom, okay? We already got 5 today, okay? Bigger numbers right here. Economy is better. We have 0 ads. We have 0 sponsors. You get 10% discounted off merch today if you subscribe, or you gift some other chatters who can then subscribe themselves. If we hit our target, we might even gamble, which is always very fun. And number 5, I'm a great show. You should support the show because it's a great fucking show. Okay? And also I'm sick, so buy me medicina.
Buy me cocaine for my nose to clear it up.
Boom, somebody bought the merch.
Somebody bought merch. Somebody bought goddamn merch. Are you a subscriber or are you a plebeian? Are you a subscriber or are you a plebeian? Let me see chat. Okay. Okay. Oh my God. Base chatter. Incredibly based. Oh my God. Bought from multiple generations of merch. Incredible. Okay. Incredible. Thank you, person whose name starts in M. And last name on C. Thank you very much. That is very sexy.
Yeah, buy merch, subscribe. It's very fun. I would love to Gamba today. What was the target for Gamba? 2,460. We are 62 subs away. That's possible. We're only halfway through the stream. Do you remember how long I streamed last time? My mother called me after the stream. She was like, what the fuck? Not after, but when we talk to each other. I'm a horrible son. I should talk to my mother more often. But then again, I'm not a good person. But. What did I want to say? Yeah, we streamed for 8 hours last time. How the fuck do some people do that on the regular? Dude, if I streamed 8 hours, I would not just be a 1K Andy. I would be a 10K Andy, dude. Fucking insane. One time I streamed for 8 hours, we were like 1,500 people here. Thanks to also people like Dave Legend. Dave Legend, thank you very much, Dave Legend. Everybody give Dave Legend a follow because Dave is indeed a legend and do not believe what people say that he is a racist. Thank you, Dave. Thank you very much, Dave. Welcome in. Thank you for the raid. Shout out to Dave, please. Go follow him. Thank you, Gothic Shadow Rose, for the 2 months as well. Welcome to the community. All of you get discounts. You get a discount. You get a discount. You get a discount. Exclamation point merch, and you will find out how. Anyways, back to learning about how the economy is doing. Really, really good, actually. Who's calling them racist? Nobody. It's an old joke.
Inflation is down. Real wage growth is up. We're going to have no tax on tips, no tax on social.
It's a very bad old joke. Friday's stream was wild, so wild that it isn't available for replay. Yes, I intentionally removed it from replay, Aster J, because that was an insane stream. It should only be experienced by the people who have experienced it. It was a once in a lifetime project, and that's how it shall remain. The 8-hour stream was wild. It was really good, right? It was really good. I mean, fuck it, dude. If we ever start hitting crazy sub numbers, I can do this full time. Like fucking YOLO. Like, I would love to do 8-hour streams. That would be sick.
Security, no tax on overtime. All those things are going to kick in the beginning of this next coming year. So the economy is going to slowly improve. But just like you saw in the last administration, where the numbers are pretty good, when people reach into their pocketbook and they take out that...
It was David, not Dave. Oh, everybody whose name starts with Dav is racist. I'm kidding, of course not.
Wad of $20 bills, and they got to make a decision how much gas to put in their car, how much groceries to put in
You're
their...
not a full-time creator? Oh, I am, but I work on 4 projects. Right? That's the annoying thing.
Cart. That's where it really matters. So you can think one thing, the White House can think one thing, the Council of Economic Advisors can one thing, the Fed can think one thing, but Pennsylvanians, Michiganders, Ohioans, people across America know something different when they reach in their pocketbook. The president's the best communicator on this, and so I think it's imperative that he get out on the stump and start...
And remember, in the United States, you have a particular superpower when it comes to average baskets, aka the perception of the wider American populace on how good the economy is going. What am I talking about? Again, as always, American exceptionalism. No matter how shitty it gets in the States, an American can always excuse it away by saying, okay, it might be shit here, but imagine how bad it is somewhere else. It's a coping mechanism so profoundly powerful that I would argue the entirety of the American state is built on its back. It is the continuous gaslighting of the self. No matter how shitty it gets, no matter how many homeless people there are on the street, no matter how expensive the rent gets, you're paying $10 an egg. You always remind yourself you're definitely not living in a fucking 1984 Animal Farm dystopia La La Land, okay, Fortnite 6767. You are not supposed to complain. You should be grateful, because imagine what's happening abroad. That's why I love when Africans make a joke. What does an African parent tell his child when he doesn't want to eat the food that was served on the table? Eat, you stupid fuck. There's children in America starving right now. I mean, it's not funny. I feel bad for the Yanks, but Jesus Christ.
Reminding people about that this administration cares about affordability.
I thought Republicans were against.
I mean, that is prevalent in Germany as well. A lot of teachers repeat that line over and over again. Now, that is very correct, and that happens in a lot of countries that have gaslit themselves into thinking that they are the peak of civilizational development. But I believe that in the States, it's on steroids, because it's to an extent the country that in the modern context has invented this coping mechanism.
Great inflation,
Oh,
David.
God, I'm sorry.
Paul, you've run some campaigns where the economy seemed to be pretty important. You know, would the Clinton campaign in 1992 ever come out and say, you know, it's the economy being A+++++ stupid?
No, it is stupid, and with respect to our president, it's foolish, let me put it that way. If you go to a doc, you say, "Doc, my shoulder is killing me," and the doc says, "No, it's not. That's a hoax perpetrated by the knee." You get another doctor, right? Because we live in this world. People don't, and Urban sounds like one of the Biden advisors, but the macroeconomics, look, people don't live in the macroeconomy. They live in the macaroni and cheese economy. And they can't afford that macaroni and cheese. Hamburger is $6.32 a pound. It's the highest in the history of hamburger. Electricity rates are through the roof. Try to buy or sell a house in Louisiana or Florida or Texas with the property insurance rates going through the roof. And healthcare is about to kick in. We're going to see the subsidies gone from Obamacare. It's going to raise everybody's costs. People are angry. They're really angry. And when the president, who's a master salesman, when he comes to them and says, "No, you can't believe your lying eyes," it makes people think he doesn't get it.
Now, the president insisting the prices are coming down. The White House often pointing to real wage growth as evidence of success in making life more affordable. But there is some new data out suggesting that there's more to it than that. CNN's Matt Egan has much more on this. Matt, what are you seeing here?
Well,
Kate, look, if voters were giving
Thank you, Kim, for the prime, my friend. Wawoo.
this economy a report.
Thank you very much.
Card, it's clear they would give it a much, much lower grade than what the president did. And I'm not just talking about those 5 pluses. I mean, consumer confidence is near all-time lows. A lot of voters think that the president's policies are doing more harm than good. Look at this Gallup poll from earlier in November. Just 27% of adults say that the economy is getting better. That's down from 31% in October, the lowest reading since July 2024 under former President Biden. Far more say it's getting worse.
I have not had wage growth in 4 years. What wage growth? Well,
and part of that is because
they count CEO, the big 3 C's. They count CEO wage growth. That's how.
Of the cost of living, right? You mentioned wage growth. So in the most recent jobs report, that's from September, we can see the blue line, that's wages. They are going up at a faster pace than the red line, which is inflation. However, you can see the gap in the last few months, it's starting to narrow, which means that inflation is catching up to prices, not what you want to see. But this is in aggregate, and this is as of September. So let's zoom in a little bit. Bank of America put out a new report where they find that among high-income households, wages are up by 4%, well ahead of that 3% inflation. That's great, most since October 2021. But unfortunately, that's just for high-income earners, right? When you look at middle-income households, wage growth is much, much softer. It's just 2.3%. That's the middle bar here. That's actually trailing inflation, which is on the left. That's not great at all. And look at this. Low-income wages are up just 1.4% as of November. That is less than half the pace of inflation.
So this means life is not more affordable.
No, exactly. That's right. It means that life is not more affordable. And no wonder why a lot of people feel like they can't catch up. They literally can't, according to this research at least. Bank of America economist Joe Watford.
All the Marxists gasped, and they were like, what?
I think he summed it up best. He said low-income and high-income households are often living in 2 different worlds and experiencing 2 different economies. And so, Kate, it's hard to square all of that with this idea that the economy is an A+++. It's clearly not for many Americans. They're just having a hard time catching up.
Yeah, I mean, this data an important aspect to understand what people are feeling ahead of President going to Pennsylvania to speak about affordability today. Thanks so much, Matt. I really appreciate it.
Things haven't been going great. Live for her.
First CNN interview since announcing her plans to resign from the House of Representatives.
Holy Mother of God, MTG on CNN? Are you fucking crazy? Are you fucking crazy? What the hell you on? What the hell you on? MTG on CNN? What in the pivots of all mothers of God? We have finally developed our true super soldier. The true centrist super soldier has arrived, and it's not Metal Gear Solid. It is not Snake eating its own ass. It is our superhero MTG, okay? And it's so nice to see like a minority shine like this. It's so nice to see a little person like be at the front of international politics. What do I mean by this? Well, let me show you. She is hiding out on us that she's a DEI hire. No, she's a little person. No. I'm very serious. Wait, where is she next to a truck? Marjorie Tyler Greene truck gun. She always makes sure she doesn't stand directly next to anyone. Okay, look at this. Before you say, oh, that's a tall truck. No, that's not that tall of a truck. Okay, look, oh my God. She is literally a little person, which is fine. Bigotry is forbidden in chat, but Holy Mother of God. She is reverse Fetterman. Oh, she's reverse Fetterman. She's reverse Fetterman. Yeah. She's she's a height minority. I don't know. I didn't fucking know. Trucks for scale. Small but buff. Oh yeah. She exercises. I put respect on that shit. And look, ever since her liberal arc, look at the skin growing and everything, dude.
Congresswoman Greene is joining us.
Like this is she put on CNN makeup instead of Republican makeup. Do you guys know the theory? What was the theory? Republican makeup. I don't fucking Republican makeup meme. This is what it is. Republican makeup. I don't know. I find all of this to be low key fucking sexist as shit, but still there's some weird point to it. I don't know. It's a particular aesthetic. Being demoralagoed. One more examples. Republican makeup. There's a wiki. Yeah, there's a fucking wiki. What is Republican makeup? I want to TikTok about it. God fucking damn it. Jesus, something started making a sound. I got so scared. But it was my AC blowing into like a thing attached to my light that started going tick tock. My fiance's in Romania right now, so I'm alone and I'm like, what the fuck? My experience, she's like 6 feet tall. Fuck you, bro. You gotta come on. Let me milk that little person thing. Okay, so is this it? People who do makeup, tell me if this is correct. I've never done makeup. No, I just want Republican makeup. Republican makeup. Yes. Come on.
What the hell is Republican makeup? So according to TikTok, the look is defined by thick, clumpy mascara, cakey ass foundation that's always way too orange, because apparently white Republican women never choose foundation that matches their undertones, and really bad half-lined lips. Marjorie Taylor Greene is a great example of Republican.
Okay. No, she no longer is. Holy Mother of God. Holy Mother of God. Oh my God. Holy shit. What the fuck? We're gonna talk about liberal makeup next.
Republican makeup. The first giveaway is the foundation. It's always about 3 shades too warm. The foundation is very cakey. Absolutely no primer and no moisturizer. Caroline Levitt.
All I can find is that she's 5'3". Grok does 5'3" classify you as a little person?
Is another outstanding example of Republican makeup. Unblended contour, patchy blush, blocky eyebrows, poorly lined half-filled lips. Those are all primary characteristics of Republican makeup. So Republican makeup and clean girl makeup are 2 very popular trends among white women. But as you can see here, they are very different. And if you're wondering why people are talking about it, so Susan Lambert was actually the TikTok creator who started this trend of white liberal women making fun of white conservative women makeup. It's actually really funny because I thought you were the white Republican. I get really confused when white women turn against each other, I'm not gonna lie. What the hell is Republican makeup?
You heard it here, folks. You know what communist makeup is? It's wearing a mask. Super kako. Thank you for the 9 months and the great joke. And thank you, Pixirino. Hello, Daddy. Hello, Mommy. Thank you for the 16 months. Thank you very, very much. A reminder to all subscribers, you get a 10% discount during today's stream, so go and fucking do it. You get 10% off. Like, just go and fucking do it. You're already subscribed. Go just buy merch. Like, fuck it. You're literally going to neutralize the price of your merch this week. If you buy merch, it will neutralize the discount with the cost. It's win-win. It is investment. It is not evil scam by Sellerman on internet.
Live for her first CNN interview since
this is revolutionary.
Announcing her plans to resign from the House of Representatives. Congresswoman, thanks very much for
shit.
coming in. Lots going on. Yeah. This is Pamela Brown, not Pamela Green. Just want to make that clear.
And she has a beautiful name.
She has a beautiful name.
Thank you. I'm proud of my last name. That's right.
And your name is Green, not Brown.
That's right.
I want to be precise. In addition to what we just heard there, President Trump posted yesterday that you are, quote, and I'm quoting him now, not America First or MAGA, and your, quote, new views are those of a very dumb person. That's the President of the United States speaking about you. What's your response to these latest attacks?
Well, actually, Wolf, I feel very sorry for President Trump. I genuinely do. It has to be a hard place for someone that is constantly so hateful and puts so much vitriol, name-calling, and really tells lies about people in order to try to get his way or win some kind of fight. And I think that's exactly what's wrong in America today. That's what's wrong in this toxic political environment that has ripped our country apart. And I personally think that
Bro, you know how Mussolini was our guy and then he became like the fucking king of Italian fascism? I want MTG to be like the reverse of that, okay? Comrade Tavares MTG. We will work together great on this plan, yes? You will cooperate closely with the American Communist Party and you will slowly integrate it with the redneck masses of America. We shall thank you in great many ways for this, sir. Mayo is Taylor Green incoming. Eternal genocide on Republican world, Taylor Green. All pedophiles must die. Anti-pedophile party. That's how she's going to call her new party.
Leadership from a president. It's a very bad demeanor and
still hates Muslims though. Dude, fuck this lady. I'm just fucking around, bro. Like it's I consume all MTG related content as a fucking meme.
And Americans are very tired of it. And unfortunately, I also am concerned because I don't think the president's team nor the speaker have told the president about the legislation that I've introduced, that actually much of it directly, literally aligns with the agenda that he campaigned on, I campaigned on in 2024. Many of my bills are actually his executive orders in legislative form. And if the speaker would pass my bills, if the President Trump were to sign them into law, guess what? His executive orders, which make him literally a temporary president, his executive orders, which are my bills, would become law that would become permanent. And so I think it's very unfortunate.
Because when I hear him talk like that about you and insult you and attack you like that, I worry about your security and your family's security. And you've been getting some increasing threats, right?
Yes, and that's what I take so seriously. As
This is a legendary hit piece. Like, holy mother of God, dude. Everybody at CNN was like, dude, boost this lady like crazy. Boost the living shit out of this lady. Well, yes, tell us that they're trying to assassinate you. They're trying to turn your fountain into a Charlie Kirk neck.
a Christian, I'm not angry at the president. It's easy.
Wolf is very worried. Oh no. Oh no, not that. Not her security. Wolf is very worried. You do, Wolf. Oh no, someone do something. Oh no. Wolfe Blitzer, former AIPAC spokesperson. Two queens coming together to maximize their joint slay. Dude, I fucking love you, chat. Fucking love you so much. Come on, give me more. Come on. I want more MTG Wolf jokes, okay? Or independent. We are concerned. Wolf right now, all face. She is wearing red to negate the laser dots. Wait, that person that made the ad where she shot a car with pics of the squad on it with a fucking sniper rifle is worried about her safety now. This stream should just be me reading fucking incredible comments. Wait, that's not a red suit. That's just her skin. She is naked. No. She was red all along. No, sir. Wait, is this what all white people look like underneath their clothes? Said a black audience member. Yes, it is. It is crazy. We are literally painted red underneath. Wolf looks like he's always gripping a loaded 6-shooter on their desk. Always considering. But is he going to fire at the guest or at himself is always the question. A revolution is not a dinner party or writing an essay or painting a picture or doing embroidery. It cannot be so refined, so leisurely and gentle, so temperate, kind, courteous, restrained, and magnanimous. A revolution is insurrection, an act of violence by which one class overthrows another. Maoist Taylor Greene, MTG, Big Stan. She dresses up as a Duck D9 blended to blend in more. I just imagine her as a duck. That is fucking hilarious. There's just that many lasers on her. Oh, she's not wearing red. There's just that many lasers on her. No, please do not kill. Do not kill now, please. No, scary. It's for scary. Big Bad Wolf and the Red Riding Hood. Very hilarious. I very much laugh at that joke. It's funny. Wow.
Easy for me to say a prayer for
I love you, Chad. Did I mention that I love you? Like, I fucking,
him and forgive him. But the
Forgive and forget.
part that I have had a very hard time with is the fact
Sam, I'm having a hard time reminding you motherfuckers that you have a 10% discount if you buy more merch and that you should subscribe so you get a 10% discount, so you support a 100% ad-free show, 100% sponsor-free show, so you help us, potentially Gamba, because I'm an insane addict that loves losing money live on stream, which is extremely entertaining. Last month we were doing very good on today's date, so I'm going to move the number a little bit back. From 2,460, I will move it down to 2,430. There you go. A very, very achievable goal. I like very much Gamble. Thank you, Yakazam, very much for you like Gamble of 5 months as well. Thank you very much, Yakazam. Very nice boy, or girl, or NB, or just very cute chatter who gives subscribe. Is the merch shipping to EU? Of course, the merch ships to every corner of the planet. That's why we use that particular service. It's got its minuses. It's very expensive. But we have certain guarantees. Like, I don't know. It's not like a literal child somewhere making this fucking shirt, number one. And number two, that it can deliver everywhere. Does the store take Klarna? No. If you need to use Klarna, do not buy the merch, my friend. It's taxed to shit in EU. Yeah, EU is whack as fuck.
that he called me a traitor. And because of his words, that brought serious threats against myself and my family. We had a pipe bomb threat on my home, a pipe bomb threat on my family construction company and staff, and had multiple pizza doxings. But the serious one was the direct.
We are the degenerate left and we demand taxes for Gamba. Please listen to Astro J, okay? We want taxes for La Gamba. By the way, last 15 tax payments, aka subscriptions, aka gift subs, before we reach the Gamba target, we'll be able to Gamba. So, as an additional motivation.
Death threats on my.
It does not deliver merch to Russia or Belarus. Really? I'ma fuck them up. I'ma fuck them up. That's crazy.
Threats against myself and my family. We had a pipe bomb threat on my home, a pipe bomb threat on my family construction company and staff, and had multiple pizza doxings, but the serious one.
Pizza Famine, what the fuck did you do, dude? Pizza Famine, why the fuck did you dox Maoist Taylor Greene, bro? Not the pizza doxes. They hid in the pizza box, and when she opened it, many doxers came out of it, and one of them was Pizza Famine, the famous pizza doxer.
Was the direct death threats on my son. And I think that goes beyond anyone's arguments or disagreements or politics. All of our children and our family's safety should matter to anyone, no matter if they're mad at us or disagree with us. I think that should be something we respect.
And when you told President Trump about this, can you tell us a little bit more about what his reaction was to these threats?
Yeah, it was shocking to me. I sent those death threats directly to him in a text.
What was this? Sorry, I'm a petty human being watching this.
President Trump about this. Can you?
So look at the movement of her head. What? It's like a skin crawler, or what the fuck do they call them?
Can you tell us a little bit more about what his reaction was to these threats?
Yeah, it was shocking.
What the fuck? What was that?
Shocking to me. I sent those death threats.
Skinwalker. Yes, sorry. They walk the skin. They don't crawl it. My bad.
Directly to him in a text message, and informed him of what his name calling and words were doing, the direct result, and it was a direct assassination threat on my son. And he was extremely, I won't repeat what he said, but
Thank you, Barry. I love you, Barry. You fucking beautiful motherfucker.
Extremely unkind. No sympathy. No care.
I'm just wondering, and I mean, obviously it would be good to hear what he said, but do you feel like you were...
But are you admitting that right-wingers are prone to doing violence on political enemies? Because that's what it sounds like you're saying. Weren't you the lady that recorded herself shooting at other political figures with a machine gun and then said, oh, this is not a call for violence? How the tables turn on the turning of the tables. Fucking crazy. And fucking crazy how this happens to like right-wingers all the fucking time. Like all the time. Like remember that crazy woman that went on ships to hunt migrants around Europe? That was always like, a woman's place is next to her husband and she must do everything he says. And then her husband started beating the living shit out of her. And the rest of us were like, well, aren't you supposed to like sit there and take it? Like you were telling all other women to just sit there and take it. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. Little baby beef, thank you for the 14 months. Green turns brown under stress. Thank you very much. Lauren Southern, yeah. Yeah, forgot her name. Holy Mother of God.
Duped. I mean, as you were...
Southern Lauren.
Reflect on this moment.
And then you just have like other people other women on the far right. For some reason, I'm focusing on women right wingers, because we're gonna do our favorite lol cow Ben Shapiro afterwards, the one that just shits herself. And then we might even do our second lol cow, Candace Owens, which is on her progress to shitting herself or something. I think she lives in Vancouver and smokes lots of weed. Who? The Southern Lauren now? Is she in fucking Canada? No fucking way, dude.
And these attacks against you. You have been such a staunch supporter and ally of President Trump. Do you feel like you were duped by him?
I feel, maybe I don't know if I would use the word duped. I think it's unfortunate for the entire country. And I think the message is, and many people are saying it directly to me, if the president, because I stood with rape victims, women that were raped at 14 and 16, victims of Jeffrey Epstein and others, they claim that there are other men. Because I chose to stand with them, that's what caused the president that I fought so hard for to get elected, that's what caused him to call me a traitor. And I think what many people are saying to me is if he would do this to you, he would do that to any of us. And that, I think, is a terrible message to be sent to the country. And many of the people that stood, goodness, hours in line for a MAGA rally that I went to, by the way, and went to many of those rallies and spoke at on behalf of him. I think that's a terrible message to send. I think our country has been in a state of crisis for many years now. And what I personally want to see happen is all the vitriol and toxic politics to be put away, and us.
So we can deport Muslims. So that we can build a wall.
Leaders to actually work for the American people.
How much do you think President Trump is responsible for the toxic politics? I know you've addressed your own role to my colleague Dana Bash, but what about Trump himself?
Oh, absolutely. He's a leader in it. And so were others on the other side. I mean, we can look, there was a weaponized Biden DOJ against the president and his family, and state AGs that went after his family. All of that is extremely toxic and dangerous in itself. I fully am totally against any type of weaponized justice system for political purposes. However, it's the language that just continues it. And it's extremely unhealthy. It sets a bad example, but that's what has been created on I call it the political industrial complex. It's the two parties that are pitted against each other, and the president, he's a leader of that on the Republican side.
It's hard to believe a president of the United States is calling a fellow Republican congresswoman a traitor. I me's pretty awful.
Wolf, I'll add to that. I have a 98% voting record with President Trump. 98%. I don't see how that can be a traitor.
Can you tell us anything more about what he said, though, when you told him about the death?
Jesus, don't be so fucking pathetic. Own it.
Right,
Own it. You can carve out your own little hut of political relevancy through this. Own it, woman. God fucking damn it. Grow a reactionary backbone. Unironically, picture yourself as the right-wing girl boss protector of all girl boss women, and as a principled Republican who will never simply blindly follow political figures that happen to be at the head of the Republican Party, and you got a cushy fucking job for life, unless a crazy MAGA guy shoots you in the head. But that's why you're wearing red, so that you can't see the lasers pointed at you right now. Okay? We got right-wing wokeism.
I think that's telling.
I don't want to, at this time, directly repeat his words, but I can tell you in nature, I literally was shocked that he was so unkind and accusatory. There were other things that shocked me, though. I sent those same death threats to
MTG on Jimmy Kimmel calling it. I would pay money for that. I would. What the fuck would Jimmy Kimmel jokes be like? You're much shorter. You're much shorter than I expected. You changed your look a little bit. Tell me about this. Does you look healthier? Is it because you're no longer interacting with Donald Trump that much? He does have that vampiric energy. I don't know why, but Jimmy Kimmel, I always imagine constantly fucking freaky ass motherfucker.
His chief of staff, Susie Wiles, and his deputy chief of staff, James Blair. They didn't even reply to me. And I would have
Wouldn't the lasers be great?
expected at least Susie Wiles, who's a woman, a mother, a grandmother, I would have expected her to have said,
Oh, she's really milking the girl power shit. Good for you, sister.
this is unacceptable, we'll send it to Kash Patel, or, something of that nature. We'll make sure your family's safe. I would have expected those responses, not for them to take sides in any way. I understand they work
J.D. Vance did respond, right? And he said
J.D.
he'd look
Vance,
into
I
it,
give
yeah.
a lot of credit to. He was very kind and caring about that. And I did send to Kash Patel.
J.D. Vance secretly fucking being very, very kind to a lot of controversial conservative women, if you know what I mean.
And he said on it.
Okay.
It's interesting.
You think this is her presidential bid? Maybe VP. Maybe VP. Potentially VP. But I think she has a long time to go. I don't think she can do it this early, but maybe VP. Maybe first VP to enter true mainstream politics, even though low-key she's already entered it. She's on Fox News and CNN 24/7. So we'll see.
Republican colleague, Congresswoman Nancy Mace, says in a new opinion piece that Speaker Mike Johnson, and I'm quoting her now, is better than his predecessor. The frustrations of being a rank-and-file House member are compounded as certain individuals or groups remain marginalized within the party, getting little say. Women will never be taken seriously until leadership decides to take us seriously. Speaker Johnson recently said he's the, quote, biggest champion of women GOP lawmakers.
I love women. I mean, no, I don't love them. I respect them.
Do you predict that some sort of women's revolt in the Republican House conference could take place?
I read her op-ed and I thought it was masterfully written, and she's right. And this is something that I've been speaking out against for quite some time now. It is extremely frustrating as a rank-and-file Republican member in our majority, our Republican majority, that many of us women are not taken seriously, and our legislation is not taken seriously. I'll give you an example right now. Mike Johnson promised me that one of our it's in my bill, it's called Protect Children's.
Johnson loves women so much he won't have sex with them.
Innocence Act. It's a
true level 6,000 feminist. Johnson.
Key piece of legislation that is one of President Trump's top campaign promises, and that's to protect any child under the age of 18 from gender-affirming care. Our position is let these kids grow up. They need to grow up before they do any permanent changes to their body. Mike Johnson, that bill has passed through the Judiciary Committee. It is ready to go for a House floor vote. Johnson promised me a vote on it after the shutdown, and it has yet come to the floor.
Why do you think then Johnson says
There you go. Now we're seeing her true side, okay?
he is the biggest champion of women? And do you think that there could be more defections, particularly a revolt, as Wolf said, among...
I love how both of them avoid talking about what she just said, and they are pivoting continuously on Trump conversations because that's what they're trying to milk out of her, all puns intended.
women in the GOP?
Well, you're seeing it. I don't know how he can speak out of one side of his mouth.
He views penetration as a violent act and therefore only uses it on those worthy of punishment, homosexual men. Have I ever told you, chat, that you're funny? Because you're fucking hilarious, dude.
But his actions fully show the hypocrisy.
I love how people that have never engaged with the left don't really understand what leftists are like. Okay, the fact all of you are here, you're a particular brand of commie and an anarchist and different sort of subsects of people I deeply respect. But imagine you come in and you think it's just these soft little boys, right? And you come in on a socialist's stream. He's wearing a mask and he's screaming about how she's wearing red because it's all red dot sites. And then you hear something like, he views penetration as a violent act and therefore only uses it on those worthy of punishment, homosexual men. It's incredible, okay? It's the type of community that the wider left gives you is absolutely fantastic. Nothing is sanctimonious to us, okay? Nothing. As long as it's under a proper context and it's not punching down, we literally do laugh at everything, okay? But it should be punching down, and it should be properly contextualized so that it's actually funny. When a leftist says this is not funny, it's not because, quote unquote, they're offended. It's because it's not funny. Like that, right wingers and centrists really don't understand this. When a leftist is like, bro, that's not funny, we don't mean like, oh my God, you offended my soul. I mean, like, you just said a joke that was like 70% slurs, and that's like just objectively not fucking hilarious. Like, you're not funny. That's the only thing I'm trying to say. You're just not a funny guy, right? And they're like, oh my God, triggered. I'm like, no, it's just not funny. Like, what the fuck was funny about what you just said? You think I'm funny? What's so funny about it? Literally, leftists, when somebody says gives a stupid reactionary slur-filled joke. This is all leftists. This is all leftists.
You're a big cop. Really funny. Really funny. What do you mean I'm funny? It's funny, you know. It's a good story. It's funny. You're a funny guy. What do you mean? You mean the way I talk? What? It's just, you know, you're just funny. It's funny, you know, the way you tell the story and everything. Funny how? I mean, what's funny about it?
Tommy, no, you got it all wrong.
Oh, Anthony. He's a big boy. He knows what he said. What'd you say?
You're right.
Funny how? What?
Just, you know, you're funny.
You mean, well, let me understand this, because maybe it's me, I'm a little up, maybe. But I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you. I make you laugh. I'm here to fucking amuse you. What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I funny?
No, just, you know how you tell a story. What?
No, I don't know. You said it. How do I know? You said I'm funny. How the fuck am I funny? What the fuck is so funny about me? Tell me. Tell me what's funny.
Get the fuck out of here, Tommy.
I almost had him. You stuttering prick, yeah. Frankie, was he shaking? I wonder about you sometimes, Henry. You may fold under questioning.
My type of toxic masculinity, honestly.
Anna Paulina Luna, she has a discharge petition now on a bill that she fully believes in.
I love that this was improv and Ray really was scared. No way, Barry, no fucking way. Source, Barry, no way in God's green earth. That was what? Seriously? Was what so funny about me in Goodfellas improv? What? The origin of funny how? What? Sorry, slight tangent.
You're a funny guy.
And so Marty said,
story that had happened to him about you're a funny guy, except he was on the receiving end of it.
And so Marty said, well, we must put that in the film.
We then improv'd it for a while.
I was able to record 4 to 5 takes of this dialogue. I then took that and rewrote that, and that was very carefully worked on.
You don't improvise on camera when we're shooting. It has to be structured. What do you mean I'm funny?
You know, you could just say, what do you think, I'm funny? And it can go on like that for ages. But there's something in each question.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you?
And response from Ray.
Just, you know how you tell a story. What?
That raises the ante until it gets to the point where...
What the fuck is so funny about me? Tell me. Tell me what's funny.
And you can hear like the anger, funny about me. It's like offended.
Marty and I spent a long time figuring out how long to wait until Ray Liotta actually says,
Get the fuck out of here, Tommy.
I almost had him.
Very good shit. Well, thank you very much, Barry. I didn't know this. Barry always the source of the most random wisdom. You fucking legend. The final take wasn't improvised, but they did it once and liked it and did it for the final take. Yeah, they improvised it before actually recording it. Because Pesci doesn't like improvising on stage.
Change the way members of Congress are allowed to own stocks, and she has that in a discharge petition. can't get the support from the speaker to bring it to the floor for a vote. But you've seen Elise Stefanik. She went to war with the speaker just last week over an amendment she had that was extremely important. So you're seeing Republican women lash out directly at the speaker because he sidelines us and doesn't take us seriously.
What's next for you? What are you planning on doing now that you're leaving Congress?
A lot of happiness.
You were a big fundraiser in the GOP. I mean,
yes. As a matter of fact, I paid my dues to the NRCC. Every single Congress raised hundreds of thousands of dollars more and paid in, supported many Republican candidates and raised money for them, but didn't get treated very well, unfortunately, not only by our Republican majority, but also, unfortunately, by the president, which I supported. I'm looking forward to seeing my family and friends a lot more.
You're going to have some happy...
Oh, thank you very much to a beautiful Twitch sub whose name starts with I and last name starts with C for getting 10% off and buying some beautiful merch. You will now be added to the list of based people who are finally going to be dripped out for the first time in their life. Thank you very kindly. Thank you very kindly. You also bought my favorite merch piece. It's so good. It's so fucking good because it's not that LARPy and only people who are supposed to know are going to know. It's pretty good. So thank you very much, comrade.
Yes,
you
indeed.
came and sat here and you said, I'm a lot happier now. Well, thank you
Congresswoman,
for your
thanks so
time.
much for coming in.
Thank you.
And good luck.
Thank you.
Very good. I think that is the news for this fine day. Now we will move over to, I believe, what would be a great time and a great
You said you would have no-
shut the fuck up. Great palate cleanser, also known as the Great Funny Guy, the Great L Taker. Ben Shabibi. We have a new video from Jose. Like he's been beaten over the head over and over like such a easy pay pig. Laugh pig. A clown man person. But to see like 500,000 views in 3 days means it's probably a very good
Things
video.
haven't been going great.
Pretty good video. Like we'll give it a chance for 10 minutes. And see where it goes. If it's just the repetition of like all the 7 billion points we've always heard about Ben Shapiro, then we're going to move on to something else. But it might actually be interesting. So let's give it a check. Let's give it a check person. Okay.
Great for
you likes when you hit the subscribe button really slowly. Yes.
Ben Shapiro.
I am become what is it? Oh, there's a new Bed Empanada video. No, Bed Empanada is gonna beat the shit out of me if I watch this video in the first 2 hours. That guy's gonna fucking rip me a new ass. It's about Chomskusi. Oh shit, that's gonna be so interesting.
For around 50 years, Noam Chomsky has been the most prominent left-wing public intellectual in the Western world.
Okay, so that he doesn't put a new fucking dick in my ass, okay? Because Empanada is a fucking terrorist. And this is a compliment. Let's all go and give the video a like, okay? And let's all, like, it's pinned. Hey, Empanada, watching this from your bunker. I have pinned it. I have told everyone to go and give it a like. And we will now watch it together with chat, okay? And you will not be angry at me because I'm cute. And I said, ooh, and I also did all the stuff. Thank you, username, very much for the streaks. Reminder to everybody to subscribe, to gift subs, to pay their taxes, support the show, get a discount for the brand new merch that is ending today. Probably, maybe not. We'll see. It's going pretty well. If we hit, I don't know, 25 merch discount sales, I might continue it for another stream. We have another Twitch purchaser. Fucking lovely. Thank you very kindly for consuming a commodity, for helping me be a hypocritical multi-billionaire, what's it called? Fucking communist speaker man. Thank you very much. And now let's watch this. Hopefully it's good. Bed Empanada, I'm watching on my own YouTube. Be chill, Bed Empanada. Please don't kill Hugo, Bed Empanada. Listen to my chat, right? Bed Empanada says what we don't always want to hear. I wonder if there's going to be an Epstein mentioned. Parenti Head's always on. Thank you, Daddy, for the 2 months. Okay, that sounded weird. Thank you, Daddy, for the 2 months. How many folks have purchased the merch? I don't know. A decent amount. Like, we won't be millionaires from it, but a decent amount. Merch is a really good way of funding your shit, which is ironic. You're still participating in commodity production. You're still high-key, like, participating in some sort of exploitation, even if it's the most American and most union-made. But it is a very practical way of supporting the show and getting some people some cool fucking shit to wear. Like, it's fine. But yeah, it's pretty decent. Even though there's a big split between the three of us. Which is an equal split, of course. But it's pretty decent. It's doing well. Wait, where can I see how many orders? Where I can't see, my friend. I would actually tell you. Can't see. This video is about Epstein. Oh, is he gonna do like a haha? I caught you. You stupid Cambodian genocide, Bosnian genocide. Ending genocide denial. Ending genocide denial. Chomsky's purpose. Let's see. We're gonna probably move to our funny pig afterwards. I'm thinking, what should I watch? I guess let's start with this, and then we'll move back and forth. Because I don't find Chomsky that interesting for fucking 52 minutes. God damn it. I don't want to talk about Chomsky for 52 minutes.
For around 50 years, Noam Chomsky...
Nope, CG. I don't know. I would buy the Dongfeng. It's the coolest. Venceramos is also cool. Lenin Mao is great, but you can't wear it to so many places because it's got Lenin and Mao on it and a hammer and sickle. It's probably the Dongfeng. And Venceramos you can wear everywhere.
Chomsky has been the most prominent left-wing public intellectual in the Western world. He has been featured and talked about pretty much everywhere, including in the mainstream media, where he has maintained a presence much more so than any other staunch critic of Western foreign policy, writing op-eds, giving interviews, and being profiled in outlets like the New York Times, CNN, The Guardian, and the BBC, just to name a few. A stark contrast to how they usually treat the vast majority of counter-hegemonic thinkers, by ignoring them completely. One could not imagine anyone else on the left ever having been called arguably the most important intellectual alive by the New York Times. Recent revelations regarding Chomsky's ties to Jeffrey Epstein have somewhat complicated this legacy.
It's a legendary fit right there, which is insane for me to say as a guy wearing a mask. So I'm throwing stones from no house. It's not even made of glass. I'm throwing it from a tunnel.
While it was already known that they had ties, and that Chomsky had maintained these ties, even after Epstein was convicted for child sex crimes.
Yes, that's the craziest fucking thing. Like, he was literally talking to Chomsky before he got arrested. They were planning on doing a thing. That to me is insane, okay? This was not like a person that was passively engaging Epstein because he's a social climber and stuff.
And also justified doing so when asked about it. The more recent releases of Epstein files show that Chomsky had at one point even written Epstein a glowing letter of recommendation. The content of this letter reveals a lot more about their relationship. It wasn't simply that Chomsky had poor judgment regarding who he associated.
Dude, I don't know how many of you guys are... How do I tell you this? How do I tell you? Epstein organized a meeting between Bannon and Chomsky. At one moment, Bannon, Chomsky, and Epstein were hanging the fuck out. My source is the TrueAnon podcast. I cannot either confirm or deny whether it's true, but that is the craziest fucking story I've ever heard in my life.
associated with in his personal life? No, because the letter has Chomsky specifically praising Epstein for his connections with and influence over important politicians from all around the world. The fact that Epstein was able to almost immediately get sitting and former world leaders on the phone whenever he wanted, and that he did so numerous times in Chomsky's presence, did not seem suspicious at all to Chomsky, who remained his friend for many years. It was, rather, for him, something worthy of praise, which he mentioned in this letter that he wrote, very positively, for who knows what ultimate purpose. This conflicts quite a bit with Chomsky's public persona as something of a left-wing, anti-establishment intellectual. Much of his work dealt precisely with critiquing the sorts of structure.
Yeah, he might have viewed Epstein as anti-establishment because he's quote-unquote not a member of the political elites, and yet he has direct contact with them and influences them to a point, right? I can't believe I'm doing fucking praising Epstein apologia here. It's crazy.
That perpetuate the power of Epstein and people like him, and explaining how they use their wealth, power, and influence to influence global politics, to control the narrative spread by the media.
Yeah, but Epstein was a hardcore social chameleon that would present himself as a struggling working class boy to people that would enjoy that side of him, and then would present himself as a, established aristocrat to those who had a greater leniency towards such people. There is again, why the fuck am I arguing this? I have no horses in this fucking race. But what you saw Epstein as being like, always dependent on what you wanted to see. He was a freaky, crazy motherfucker. Okay. Yeah, OG, he was a substitute teacher, yeah.
And to impose their own interest and
His rise to relevance is one of the craziest fucking stories of all time.
own whims on everyone else. It's important to reckon with these contradictions, not because attempting to salvage the image of Chomsky the individual is important, but because analyzing him...
Listen, Chomsky interacting a lot with Epstein and that whole fucking thing happening can be explained in a very, very easy way. Very rich and very successful people want to get in contact with very influential intellectuals, especially public intellectuals. They want them at their dinner parties. They want them at their hotel resorts. They want them, one phone call away, because that's what raises their social capital to being not only a person that has amassed great wealth, but a person that has every single contact that one can think of. A person that has their fingertips in absolutely everything. A true modern aristocrat, okay? That is why intellectuals, quote unquote, like Noam Chomsky, were reached out towards by exceptionally wealthy men or by incredibly successful, deranged social climbers such as Epstein. And on the other side, when you are an intellectual who sure makes a very decent amount of money, but still is a public intellectual, therefore you to an extent are doing it for some sort of fame, and who is limited to the boring world of academia, and then somebody shows up that can show you quite a few other aspects of life, while, of course, stroking your ego maybe far too literally than not so much, you start falling into that trap and you start following it. Does that excuse it? No, it does not excuse it. But I'm not just talking about Chomsky here. I'm talking about probably like thousands of public intellectuals that you've heard of that are very close friends with quote unquote power, because power really likes to have them like pets. Okay. Public intellectuals directly linked with power is like pets. It's their like little flex thing to show off the fact that they're at the party. Okay, like New Money flexes with a rapper or a singer or a pop star at the party. Okay, Old Money flexes with quote unquote intellectual powerhouses at the party, and then it becomes, beautifully put, Red Phil, also a flex for the intellectuals as well, because they can say that they know this rich guy or that guy. Capitalism eventually subsumes everything. As cliche as it is, It always comes back to that. Chomsky gave Epstein $270,000 to invest. They were close. He also rode the plane many times. Chomsky also said he only likes sex if there is a chance of pregnancy. Altogether, it paints a bad picture. Chomsky was an op. I don't know if that paints him as completely as an op, but it does paint him as an opportunist who wanted a very lavish capitalist life, right? Who wanted to be directly in touch with power. And when we learn something like that about a particular individual, I love talking about, for example, quote unquote sellouts all the time, and people that, just do whatever analysis only as a grind sesh. Once we hear about just how much they wanted to touch and experience fame for the sake of fame, we start questioning whether everything that they were saying comes from from true intellectual curiosity and from a place of principle, or does it come as a sort of grind sesh towards having the most original opinion and building your particular niche audience so that you can become as popular and powerful as possible, right? You start doubting whether the person believed the particular things that they were preaching, Seems pretty clear that he was a pedo. Don't know if it's worth going in deeper than that. It is worth going in deeper than that because we want to, we always got to systemize shit, right? Why does this interaction happen? Etc., etc. That in no way denies or lowers the behavior of said individual. I just find it plebeian to talk about only individuals without explaining overarching systems that happen to hundreds of individuals in certain cases and hundreds of thousands of individuals in other cases, or particular, let's call it industries or professions or whatever the fuck. I was trying to present to you the direct connection between mainstream intellectuals and large capital, because one, large capital looks at them as pets that they want at their parties, and intellectuals who are not purely principled but also want to use their grind session as a means to get power love being pets for said large capitalists. It's a much larger story than simply the example of the world's most famous pedophile. That is why wealthy academia, if we want to call it that, gets subsumed so often in just preserving the status quo, especially when you get very big. Because when you get very big, become a very famous professor or whatever the fuck, your phone starts ringing. And then when you only start interacting with super, super wealthy people, you start forgetting about the perspective of everybody else, and then you pivot because your material conditions have now changed. Case in example, ContraPoints. There you go. If you want some more modern example of a human being, of a modern philosopher or whatever, ContraPoints. Literally that, 100% just that, 100%. Not a Chomsky stan, but would love to smear him as a pedo, but honestly, I don't think that's where he was involved with Epstein. The wealthy academia argument seems the most plausible when you consider Chomsky's left anti-communist stances. That, and also there's emails that show that that was the motivation behind Epstein kind of courting him to an extent. Does that mean that he was not a pedo, or that he might not have done some fucking insane shit with young children? I don't know. I'm just always trying to, get away from, the pedestrian conversation of it's speaking about a person, as if we're talking about the fucking Kardashians. Wait, is Contra a Nazi? No. Contra is not a Nazi. Contra is a sellout. The greatest example of a pure sellout. Because of the material conditions having changed for her. Okay.
His views, his career, his work.
Well, with me, you will never receive this because I very openly say I love car that has 600 horsepower and goes vroom vroom really fast. I love having a lot of gold all over myself, okay? If I can have a 200-inch TV right here and go to clubs and sit at the VIP table and pour vodka over my head and then light it on fire, I will very much so do it. I will very much so do it. We are the shitbag left. We are the fucking degenerate left. I very openly state that because I have lived in capitalism for so long, my sense of self is so deeply rooted in being materially well off that even when I analyze it and see that it is insane and illogical and to an extent hurts me, I still enjoy it because what we enjoy is the only thing that we know. We only enjoy things that we know. And that is to an extent what I enjoy. Do I also enjoy a nice stroll on the beach, a nice book by the campfire, the nice, love for the sake of love? I enjoy all of those things. That is 90% of who I am. But me sitting here and telling you that I would, I'm fucking wearing a papiri, bro. Like, I paid like $70, $80 for this shit, right? Like, I enjoy consumerism very often, but very often also avoid it. I'm wearing the same pair of boots for 2 years now. The last time I bought sneakers was a year and a half ago. But then other stuff that are like, quote unquote, just commodities for the sake of commodities, yes, I will spend copious amounts of money on. Yes, abso-fucking-lutely. So you cannot call me a sellout because I'm telling you very openly that I will gladly take capitalism's dirty fucking money for my job of advocating against that capitalism. But what you will never see me is somebody that pivots to being a classic bourgeois or somebody who pivots against proposing the most radical and practical policies that can bring about a worker society that I can think of. And in that time, if I can milk the idiocy of capitalism into making sure that I'm comfortable, that I pay my mortgage, that my partner or my children one day are comfortable, or anybody that works with me, never for me, can potentially be comfortable. That's currently my greatest hope. Yes, I will fucking do it. Yes, I will. What the fuck? I am completely dengist on this motherfucking point. Poverty is not socialism, and I reject it harder than anyone, especially as someone who has experienced poverty. I never want to fucking see it again. Ugh. Anyways, yeah. You can't sell out if you've always been for sale. But I'm only for sale to my chatters. Not some large capitalist walking around here. Except Barry and Pizza Famine. They're my only two large capitalists, dude. Dude, I ate noodles every day as a kid. Dude, I got bombed as a kid. Yeah. Sorry, that was rude of me. But yeah, no, I know. So a reminder to subscribe. No, fuck that. Fuck. Hate streamers. Do not give them any money. Streamers are absolutely fucking disgusting. They are fucking evil dogs.
Work and
do not subscribe to them at all. Do not allow this communist to pipe dream all of this shit. Dude, it says Supreme on my fucking mask. I love the contradictions of consumerism while advocating against it. It feeds me to an extent that you do not know, okay? Like ironic, not hyperconsumption, I don't hyperconsume, but like ironic consumption is fucking class to me, okay? If I could buy a hat that just says Louis Vuitton everywhere and then like draw a hammer and sickle in the middle of it, that would be fucking so stupid. It would be great, okay? I love just contradictions piling everywhere because I love taking those contradictions and then directing them against said system. It's fucking hilarious. It's so funny. It's so funny. Dude, I had seizures as a kid. That sucks. Why are we measuring our child penises? Are we Noam Chomsky here? Chad is trying to save a comrade, and you're trying to set comrade on fire. What gives? Who am I setting on fire? What is fucking happening? You flexed yours. Yeah, because you flexed yours first. Me, why am I setting you on fire, Cuphead? I don't understand. What is going on? You said you want to set Cuphead on fire? What? I don't remember that. I don't get it. But yeah, subscribe. Or buy merch at a discount to stimulate a growing anti-capitalist empire while using capitalist means, because we are the shitbag left and we will stop at nothing. There are no principles in a system built on no principles. There is only winning.
How others have talked about and utilized him could be enlightening and assist us in understanding how things work as we move into the future.
Like broke versus woke. Broke, you get into money, so your material conditions change, so you stop advocating for more socialism. Woke is you get into money, and you're like, this is not all that it was cut out to be, and you advocate even more because you want everybody else to experience a level of lavishness that you've managed to ensure for yourself, okay? The difference between ContraPoint and, like, I don't know, Hassan Abi, right? Barry, that's a crazy story.
For the first part of this video, I'm going to address a common charge levied against Chomsky, the idea that he is a genocide denier. Then I'll discuss what it is that we can glean from these newer revelations regarding Chomsky's ties to Epstein, by analyzing the role that Chomsky has played.
Let's go to the Epstein part, because I've talked about Chomsky and genocide like 700 times. Chomsky's purpose, where's ending genocide denial, where is the conclusions? Let's just hear the conclusions.
Those same incentive structures still definitely exist today. While the mainstream media's monopoly on information has heavily diminished, they still do matter, and they're still very faithful servants of the status quo. They can no longer completely gatekeep the spread of information as they could before, but they can still get you some very nice benefits, very similar to the ones that enticed Chomsky. But in Chomsky's era, if you wanted to be heard, if you wanted your words to reach more than a few thousand people, then the mainstream media was really the only game in town. They could get you before a national and international audience very easily.
Thank you, V, for buying another pair of merch. Thank you very much.
In a way that nothing else could even touch. There was no alternative. So he and others of his time at least did have some justification for trying to get their thoughts out into the mainstream media, at least occasionally. But none of that applies today. We live in the age of social media, where political commentary can legitimately be way more independent than ever before, while also having the potential to reach an infinitely larger audience than ever before. We live in an age where, with enough luck, one individual political commentator who only uses social media can legitimately reach more regular viewers or readers than what some entire old guard media publications now do. The way that information is shared and accessed has fundamentally changed, and it will never be the same. So while we certainly should have been more diligent in asking questions about Noam Chomsky, we should be even more diligent in asking questions about the potential Noam Chomskys of the future. Those who make the transition, as he once did, from seemingly being radical and independent to suddenly being featured in the mainstream media, to getting profiled in it, to being sought out when they need a supposedly radical left opinion, and whose work they seem weirdly happy to disseminate. Because you don't need to do any of that to be heard anymore. You can be heard just fine with a YouTube channel or a Twitch stream or even just a Twitter account, reaching millions upon millions of people, while still retaining a very high degree of independence.
Always be more skeptical about comrades in quote-unquote power. Not because you think every single one of them is a sellout, but because there needs to be a counterbalance in order to ensure that you notice if they ever do become a sellout, okay? Keeping people quote-unquote accountable, especially once they have, if we're talking about the content creation world, accrued a lot of mainstream power or money. Keeping them accountable does not mean hating them. It does not mean like constantly measuring, like tape measuring exactly whether what they did is based or whether what they did is cancelable. No, it's all about making sure that they do not lose the particular position they have on the funnel towards radicalizing people towards socialist organization or not. Are they stopping you from are they contributing to the end goal that we all want, or are they not? They are how many times do I have to say this? Are they a propagandist who tries to get as many people to organize and to develop class consciousness, or move further down the pipeline where somebody else is also going to help speed that process up? Or are they trying to just keep you there? Are they treating you as a political project, every single chatter and so on? Or are they treating you exclusively as a client consuming the product of the video essay or Twitter thread or Twitch stream or podcast episode or news article, etc., etc.? Having a historical materialist understanding of the world can help in maneuvering that world. The education doesn't make someone a class-conscious champion of the proletariat. Yes, there is no such thing as a class-conscious champion of the proletariat. But if somebody does rise to a position of particular leadership, be it in your local organizations, be it as a propagandist for it, or be it as an intellectual titan of it, one should peruse the motivations that stand behind them. And I do that 24/7 with absolutely everybody. Somebody give Aiden Cooper a gift sub right now, because Aiden is fucking gifted you motherfuckers like 1 million subs. So please, gift sub to Aiden right the fuck now. Chat, let's fucking go. We're definitely not gambling today. We're not hitting that target. But, baby, that doesn't mean that you can't have a sub and purchase some discounted merch on this fine day before we finish. A lot of you bought 19,
Wonderful,
but
a new child
I
soldier.
think more can still use that good old 10%er. Thank you, 999. Thank you very much for gifting it to Aiden. No gamba. I mean, unless you fucking spawn 100 gift subs right now, I don't know how the fuck we're doing it. Okay, yeah. So I agree with Empanada. That's what I'm saying. The only caveat I'm giving is don't immediately think because somebody is growing into positions of mainstream coverage that they're immediately a sellout. Okay. That is also like anti-intellectual and insane, right? I do agree a lot with Empanada on the perspective, but then again, me and Empanada are super subjective because we only have our digital platforms that there is no need for anybody to who already is very established, quote unquote, online to venture into, quote unquote, the mainstream, because this is going to be the mainstream of the future. So like, what? And here you can build completely independent, thanks to, for example, subscribers like yourself and listeners and so on, completely independent media apparatus that is completely grassroots funded by you fuckers, instead of having to rely on particular class, business, and every other type of interest by entering, quote unquote, mainstream, traditional media. So yeah, it's not too smart. I mean, not too smart. It's strategically, I question how much merit it has. But I'm very open to having my mind changed. I'm very open. Maybe access to, traditional media gives you access to a whole huge audience that potentially would not have heard of you, that you then can convert through your platform. That's a sizable, decent argument. Thank you very much for the purchase, my dear friend. We got our 20th. Oh my God, that was the goal in my head. Fuck yeah. Discounted purchase of the merch. That's so fucking cool. Thank you very much. I understand it's expensive, but our cut isn't the hugest from every single one of them. So I understand why some people can't afford it. That's why the discounts are there to an extent. Just got the Venceremos tea. Thank you, Steez, you beautiful motherfucker. Why are you all like immediately making this about fucking Hassan? With Hassan, it's a slightly different context, in my modest opinion. But yeah, if you can get more access to more people that you can then further convert in the future, that is very good. But you have to always be very careful about not potentially falling in the trap of liking the exposure more than treating it as a utility. Right? The difference is, okay, I can have a GQ shoot and then convert so many people that I met there into whatever I want to convert them in through my digital content, in the case if we're talking about Hassan. And another thing is, I do what I do so that I can get more GQ shoots, right? Those are two very different things. And nobody can really tell. Your favorite piece of merch, the Venceremos?
Independence. You're certainly not 100% independent. You're limited by the platforms that you're on, but it's still way more than ever before. And you don't even need to associate with the mainstream media to make money, as you can also make ridiculous amounts of money from these same platforms. But the mainstream media, while it is certainly less dominant now, still offers something that you might not be able to get from YouTube or Twitch. Connections to the old elites, the old money, the old sort of fame, an entirely different...
Oh Jesus! Well, literally what I talked about before we watched them, and you can't tell me pre-watch because he literally posted during this. Same analysis. Yep. It's a slippery slope, and you can find yourself selling out even if your intention was not to sell out. But that doesn't mean that everybody who starts flirting with that world is going to sell out. Is it possible? It is. Doesn't mean everybody's going to do it. Yes, it will.
World. One that even a new money social media star couldn't really imagine. The world of the Epsteins. So nowadays, those who choose to make the transition from relative independence to becoming useful tools of the legacy media are doing so way more deliberately than Chomsky ever did any of what he...
What's up, Ludo? Fucking tier 3 for 22 months. Absolute insane psycho, dude. Thank you. What's up?
He did. He got sucked into it because it was really the only option if you wanted to be heard. But the political commentators of today, they've already got the audience. They're already being heard. So for them, this is much more of a conscious choice. I am not here to cancel Noam Chomsky. He's certainly written things that are very useful, And regardless of what he did in his private life, his works are still going to often stand up on their own. What I am saying is that we should learn from Chomsky's life and what he himself taught us about media criticism.
Hassan is not a Democrat, guys. What the fuck are you saying? Jesus Christ. For fuck's sakes. Please. Fucking hell.
We should be asking questions about the purpose that is served by those who allow themselves to be tempted.
Oh, and then he just puts a fucking shot of him. Of course he does.
We should be asking questions about the purpose that is served by those who allow themselves to be tempted by the mainstream media and its forbidden fruit, now more than ever before. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, we should question it. Yeah, I agree. We should question it. But you putting his face there means you already have conclusions when it comes to him, and that's different to questioning. I also believe that people who spent the majority of their time on the content creating left, if we want to call it that, analyzing and talking about and analyzing and talking about and analyzing and talking about other leftists to be also of a similar level problematic, because it shows more careerism than it does pushing the idea. Take that with what you want, because I'm not showing any fucking photos. But I agree, absolutely. We should, those with the greatest amount of, with the greatest platforms and the most influence, we need to try and be good comrades and remind them not to sell out to, for particular, sometimes selfish reasons. Yeah, that's good. That was good analysis. God bless. But it absolutely did not need to end on that. I have nothing to gain by saying this. I'm totally fucking irrelevant in this entire game that these people play. I'm building out my own little fucking corner, but bad taste. That's all I'm saying. Very bad taste.
Shapiro, the former darling of right-wing media, has been under a lot of fire from his right flank, and his once enviable position now seems...
But comrades can disagree, and that is fine, and they are still comrades. At least that's what I think. Okay, our lol cow. Okay, I prefer lol pig. Why do we call them cows? It's a lol piggy. It's a piggy that makes us lolly lol. Okay, let's get to this. I should have just gone with this from the get-go.
Very precarious. Only 8 years ago, things were dramatically different.
Disagreeing with comrades isn't infighting. It absolutely isn't. That's why, while I agreed with 99% of everything said, the last part, I believe, was in bad taste because it proposes conclusions to the audience, even though the previous call to action was to analyze for everybody, to keep them, in check, balance them out, make sure they don't sell out, etc., etc. And then you throw a conclusion. But it's okay. It's edgy, I guess.
As Ben Shapiro was making his ascent. Back on November 13th, 2017, an article in the New York Times described conservative commentator Ben Shapiro as the cool kids philosopher. The article is a relatively gentle profile of Shapiro, describing him as a conservative firebrand who holds extreme views, who is finding a young audience online. There's a part of this article that has an odd echo in the present. It reads, Mr. Shapiro is trying to...
One of my biggest L's as a analyst is the Daily Wire. because I genuinely thought they were going to turn into some like relatively mainstream powerhouse. And honestly, like all of us did. Everyone did. But they grew too fast and too big for their own good, and then were subsumed by their own contradictions of basically doing too good of a job. Where, you know, my analysis is they turned people so far right that the Daily Wire could no longer offer them far right enough opinions. Suffering from their own success, Ben Shapiro style. Thank you, F916253, for those 4 months, baby. Thank you very, very much for the sub. October 7th really helped the collapse of what they built. That's very true as well. Hamas single-handedly destroyed the Daily Wire.
Define conservatism at a time when its meaning is up for grabs, and the Republican Party and traditional conservative media outlets like Fox are built for older audiences. This is even truer now, but the next sentence in the article is even more interesting. Shapiro does not like President Trump, and he disagrees with his old boss at Breitbart News, Stephen K. Bannon, that Trumpism is the future of the Republican Party. Obviously, Ben Shapiro has changed his tune long since then, and that's part of how Shapiro has succeeded, a combination of being morally lucky within the context of conservative politics and willing to sit at the altar of Trump, cashing in on the rightward shift represented by Trump and knowing when to fall in line when he saw where that
rightward shift? What the fuck?
Push towards the right was actually coming from. Not people like him, but the constituency more aligned with Donald Trump.
He was far right since he was like 19.
Nimble movement helped him ascend the space to be one of the most popular voices in online conservative media in the early 2020s. But his metrics have been way down in 2025. In fact, I suspect further down than the publicly available data suggests. The reasons are many, and ironically, much of it is Shapiro's own making. I want to look through some of that history and explore just how someone can go from being one of the big dogs in the conservative movement to one of its favorite whipping boys. For those somehow unfamiliar with Shapiro's backstory, the very fast version was that he was a young conservative who got a taste of the limelight in conservative commentary before the age of 20. He tried to break into the world of Hollywood and failed.
I've written a couple comments.
Yeah, this video is for libs. We know everything about him. Like, Jesus Christ. Yep, next.
Let's go ahead and get to what is going on.
This is going to be half of the video fucking explaining Ben Shapiro to normies, dude. This is not for me in chat. Next, let's talk about how Somalis are kicking conservative ass. Promised 3,000 years ago. Somalis wage Zionist-themed meme war. This sounds fucking awesome. What is Barry sending me?
What's your name?
My nosy. Oh yeah, these kids.
That's ICE. It's them.
Where are your body cams?
We're not impeding. We're recording.
Man, you guys know so much because you guys listen to TikTok. You should be in school, kid.
You guys listen to TikTok. You should go back to school, bro. I can't. You deported my teacher.
We got a report that ICE is in a parking lot. So far, one car verified. We don't know if there's more. I would assume there probably are more, but we're gonna go and try to get plates and any information we can document. Yeah, they're right over here. Okay, here we go. There. Don't block the vehicle in any video, Sam.
Ben and Sam Lumen are teenage brothers in the Chicago suburbs.
Okay. Watch out. Make sure you're not blocking the vehicle at all.
They spend their mornings tracking ICE agents.
Buckle up. Here we go. Our position in this is to get that initial filming. You show up with cameras and they're gone. We have other patrollers that are gonna monitor their direction. The biggest thing right now is I don't know where they went. When we have a lot of responders out there, it makes it difficult for ICE to operate because we're constantly getting the location of their vehicles, so they have to spend their day kind of dodging us instead of committing these illegal arrests because they know the cameras will be there whenever they get out of their car. And getting the names of anybody being arrested is really helpful because...
In Chicago, Ice Watch is totally hardcore. Portland is catching up, though. Very good. Very good.
If we don't get the names of these people, then they just disappear and they're...
There you go. Immediate, very, very good, very difficult, and very brave, but very good praxis that local organizations can do in order to, entrench themselves with everybody in a good way by showing, that they're on the side of the community that they want to protect.
They're gone. They're very unpredictable and violent, so always I'm trying to keep an eye on what they're gonna do and be one step ahead of them.
Everybody get in your car and follow! Follow them!
Okay, back away from our vehicles now. Back it off.
How did you guys get involved in this patrolling work?
It was a morning in September. My mom turned my light on and turned my fan off and said, Ben, ICE is in West Chicago. They just made multiple arrests. We have to go. We've learned a lot about what's really happening and how immigration works, and a lot of how messed up the legal process is throughout it. How much the Trump administration has just torn apart families and destroyed lives through their operations.
The Trump administration says they're prioritizing violent criminals for arrest and deportation.
They say they're targeting violent criminals, but time after time we find out that these people who've just been taken in front of our eyes and put in handcuffs and shoved into a car have no violent background.
What's your phone number?
These are our neighbors being taken. They're members of our community. It's evil. They're just people with families that are trying to live.
Since September, federal agents have roamed the Chicago area, arresting thousands of people. Operation Midway Blitz, as ICE calls it, is part of an aggressive immigration crackdown across the country. The Trump administration insists that they're targeting violent criminals.
We're doing the worst of the worst, always first.
But their own records show otherwise. According to a document from the Department of Justice, out of 614 people arrested during Midway Blitz, only 2.6% were deemed a high public safety risk.
Ben, we have 2 cars going east, and we're gonna go try to check if they stop at the gas station or an apartment complex nearby.
Are you sure that those 2 cars are ICE vehicles?
So we've checked the license plates and they match previous arrests. I think the count was up to around 95 plates that Sam and I have verified at different encounters.
That's a lot of ICE vehicles for the Chicago suburbs.
Jesus Christ.
We're with ICE patrols. What are you guys seeing? We heard that there was a Denali in the area.
There's a Denali, I guess, somewhere in the corner by where that truck is going over there.
Got you. Okay.
Pickup truck.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Oh, there they are. Oh, they're like fully out of the vehicle now too. Oh, and there's guns, big guns. That's terrifying. Okay, let's. That's a big gun.
So we just saw the end of an arrest. Community members here say officers pulled up to this car and 2 men ran from it. They grabbed one. People here are too afraid to talk to us, but they said that the man who was arrested repeatedly told them he had a work permit, but they put him in the car anyways.
We're gonna stay here.
You think?
We're gonna hold down this area.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm gonna keep GoPro rolling. I turned my phone off. We're gonna hold down this area.
Racist kids, bro.
There's been a lot of ICE activity over the last month. They've been terrorizing the town, picking up people left and right. I grew up in the United States, but I mean, for the first time in a long time, like a couple months ago, I was telling my wife, I felt uncomfortable being the only Mexican in a restaurant, and I shouldn't feel like that.
Immigrant families across the Chicago area are now dealing with the aftermath of the raids, including the family of Ricardo Aguayo Rodriguez, who was arrested by federal agents while riding his bike on a Sunday morning. A video of the incident went viral. Can you tell me what happened to your brother?
Mi hermano fue a comprar algo de comer en la marqueta y cuando venía de regreso, ahí estaban los de la migración. Lo tumbaron de su bicicleta y lo tenían en el suelo pegándole. Tenía 2 aquí arriba en su pecho de él, ahorcándolo.
They punched him in the eye. They knocked his 2 front teeth out. You got severed collarbone. These 2 guys had to help him stand up, get to the bathroom. He can't move. They just destroyed this man for no reason. Absolutely 1,000% no reason. No man should get beat that bad. or something you didn't do.
Do you know why ICE arrested him?
Pienso que lo agarraron ahí por el color nomás de su piel, porque lo miraron como era un mexicano.
Were you able to see him after the arrest?
No sabemos cómo está ahorita, no nos dejan verlo, pues nomás porque no lo puedo ver, no sé cómo está. Y pues él y yo siempre hemos estado juntos. Y pues sí, tengo miedo de que ya no lo vuelva a ver y que se haga justicia por lo que le hicieron, porque eso que le hicieron no está bien.
Rodriguez is currently in immigration detention in Oklahoma. Federal authorities claim he resisted arrest. They also say Rodriguez has prior convictions for assault, battery, and drug possession, though it's unclear if that's why he was targeted.
Watch out, we've pissed this guy off. He might switch lanes and brake check. Yep. Do you want to open your window for him? We're legally allowed to record.
Yeah. Jesus, I'm sick as shit. Can't follow us.
We can follow from a distance as long as we're recording.
18, USC 111.
No, I need to make physical contact with an officer or their car. We are not impeding. We're just recording. We're not.
Thank you, Tria. Thank you very, very much for those 6 months. Thank you very much.
We're not impeding. We're recording. Okay.
Ben, have you gotten warnings like that before?
Yeah, I mean, they've boxed in our car and pulled us out of our car and held Sam against the door with his hands behind his back while they threatened to arrest us. It's just empty threats. I mean, they definitely shake you up, but there's nothing they can really do with it. Yeah, they can still detain you, they can still arrest you, but if the charges don't stick, then that's kind of all that matters. Okay. They're here. We'll top out. Guys, they're here at college. They're here at college, the Rebel truck. We're 2 white minors who have always had the privilege to live in America unbothered. With ICE especially, I think it very much changes how they think they can treat us. White privilege definitely has an effect with how we're treated, and that's horrible, but I'm gonna use
So young, so base, that's insane. I'm low-key jealous of these fucking awesome kids.
that privilege that shouldn't be here and do the right thing.
Much of my students watch your video on Red Scare Propaganda. I'm really glad. Thank you very kindly. You're very base students.
Ben and Sam come from a family of 8 kids.
Mom, can I watch on the TV?
The Lumens are devout Anglican Christians who see resisting Trump's immigration crackdown as an extension of their faith.
Do you ever worry about them out having all these encounters with law enforcement?
Yeah, I worry. Absolutely. I'm tracking them on my phone all the time throughout the day. At the same time, I've had to come to realize that a lot of my immigrant and at risk for being racially profiled neighbors and the people around Chicago have to worry every single day of their lives with their kids. Not just during Operation Midway Blitz, but this is ongoing. In America, it is not safe to be an immigrant right now, and maybe hasn't been for a long time. If they have to carry this day after day, why should my life be normal? Why should my family get to be safe and comfortable and go on about our days and just ignore what's happening?
Fucking holy shit. Beautiful human beings.
We're not sure if our kids are going to be safe, but at the same time, we're incredibly proud with what they're doing. People are being actively hunted.
This is a testing ground, Chicago as a city, for Trump's vision of what ICE and Customs and Border Patrol could do in lots of cities around the United States. They are testing our resistance, and we are also learning ourselves and trying to formulate what does peaceful resistance look like.
All right, guys.
Lord, we give you thanks for this day and this food. And God, we pray that you would obstruct the work of ICE, Lord, that you would soften hearts and that they would change their ways. We pray this in Christ's name. Amen.
Secret praxis, join ICE and then just don't do your job and take the paycheck.
Trump's immigration raid.
There definitely has to be like a bunch of comrades that have infiltrated ICE. I can't think that there isn't. That, you know, give out locations, that call up organizations who have dedicated themselves to stopping ICE arrests, that accidentally leak information of people that are currently in arrest, that accidentally record inside of the prison institutions that are designed specifically for immigrants, etc., etc.
Show no signs of slowing down and are poised to expand.
Definitely not telling you that, you know, if you know someone, to try and convert them and so on. I'm definitely not saying any of that.
And intensify over the coming months. ICE's budget is set to triple in 2026, making it the highest funded law enforcement agency in the country. But communities continue to push back. In the Chicago suburbs, people gather weekly outside the Broadview ICE facility to protest the raids.
So religious leaders are pushing past the police barricades here and trying to get closer to the ICE facility and immediately getting arrested by the police.
Everybody that we see get arrested comes here. The condition.
No, but it's Somalis that are actually making principled Christians feel intimidated, not the literal police force.
And there are horrible. They're not given enough water. They're given one sandwich a day for food. They have over 100 people in 20 by 20 foot rooms. Not enough room to sleep on, no beds, no showers. The 2 showers in the facility are broken and used as storage units. It's inhumane and it's horrible and it's disgusting. And that's why there's protesters here.
That's ICE. There's them.
There's so many agents out there. We just need numbers of people out there keeping an eye on our neighbors.
You can film all you want, just get back.
I'm filming.
You start interfering, I'll arrest you.
I'm not interfering, I'm just filming.
If enough of us got in the street and said enough is enough, this is evil, and we need to see people for who they are and not quotas to fill, then this would stop, and people could live again.
See you at the next one. We'll see you at the next one.
In response to allegations about conditions at the Broadview ICE facility, the Department of Homeland Security has said the following. Despite hoaxes spread by criminal illegal aliens, the complicit media, and now an activist judge, the ICE Broadview facility does not have subprime conditions. An activist judge. You're not allowed to call a fucking... whatever. It's cliches. Everything I'm going to say is cliche shit. Chat, I'm going to suffocate in this mask. I am sicky as shit, okay? I know I'm a sick fuck, but I am also literally relatively sicky. And I will see you on Thursday, okay? Today was a lovely stream. I am giving the last chance, and bravo to these kids. If anybody knows how we can support them, please tell me, and I will gladly platform that as much as possible. Before I leave, though, this is your last chance at a 10%er, because I'm literally going to turn it off, the option, the second the stream ends. So I will give you a couple of minutes to potentially purchase something if you really want to. If not, God bless. I really appreciate all the support, all the subs, all the gifts, all the follows. If you're here, if you're new and you haven't followed, what the fudge are you doing? It's literally a click of a button, so why the fuck not? I would still appreciate you very much. Thank you to the mods. You've done a brilliant job today. Really good job. Get better soon. No, I'm fine. Like, I'll stream on Thursday and on probably Friday, Saturday, and Sunday because we're doing very good with subs, and we're going to try and stream 5 times a week. And if it's 4, then 1 needs to be very long. But I'll be fine by Friday. I got the immune system of a fucking bull. Or I will be dying. I will commit to death. Yeah, the Western taxpayers appreciate you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, baby. I appreciate you very, very much so. Now I'm going to send you to Sean. Sean recently rated me, and Sean is fucking great. So here we go. Rated Sean. Have fun with Sean. Send my love. Send my regards. This was nice. Yeah, this was a great stream. This was really, really, really cool. It was a good lurking experience. Thank you, Astilla. Now you know what to do when you rate. Spam all that shit. Have a great grand old time, and I will see you in 2 days. Thank you very much, chat. Stay safe.